It's guitar outside. Driving through West Virginia, I seldom been thinner. Got this chip on my shoulder, and this past year I got so much older. Looking back over my life, spent most of it tongue-tied. Now I'm wishing I had more time, listening to you speak your mind. Now I'm thinking about her every day on my mind, a typical way. Are you a life force? I'm thinking about her every day on my mind, a typical way. Yeah. Are you a life force? Drinking coffee black as iron, and I couldn't be much higher without falling out of my chair. I've been so numb for so many years. Now I'm thinking about her every day on my mind, a typical way. Are you a life force? I'm thinking about her every day on my mind, a typical way. Are you a life force? And it's so easy to be blinded by the light, to feel lonely in the night. Oh, it's blowing in the breeze, baby. I got dust in my eyes, rust in my smile. I'll be back on next spring. Won't you say you love me then, by and by?
Yo, what up, Space? How we doing, brother? Thank you for coming by. Just getting ready to put this out on Twitter.
Spent the most of it tongue-tied, pulling my belt tight. Just me and the stars tonight. 2 fingers and a tight line. Keep my head above the alpine. And I'm wishing I had more time, just listening to her speak her mind. And now I'm thinking about her every day on my mind, a typical way. Are you a life force? Thinking about her every day on my mind, a typical way. Are you a life force? So by and by, by and by, by and by, 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 the line. By and by, oh, by and by. Unless your soul's so cold, and then you buy and hold. Yeah, man, yeah. That's it. I like to go there soon, to a place where it rains. They call it a monsoon, under skies that could cry, pray out of their eyes. Said underneath my father's arms, and listen to her sing what she said. You don't have to be someone.
Hey, I appreciate it, Space. Appreciate you being here, dude. Thank you. We're going to be taking a look at some charts here in about 15 minutes. Just in a daily routine of waking up and get going.
You don't have to be someone to be be everything. Sister Crow wheeled round too fast, myself in a different state of mind. Growled a few notes to clear my throat and then joined in kind. Found my words, and then I found my way.
Every day. More. Every day just gets me in the mood, man. I listened to your little jam session last night too.
You don't have to be someone. 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 You don't have to be someone to be everything.
Yeah.
Yaha!
Love it. Guitar inside outside.
Cars around this when they go by.
What? Listen to this song a million times. I swear I've hit this every time.
Driving through West Virginia.
We get it now. We got it now.
I ain't ever
We can
been
do this too.
much thinner. Got this chip on my shoulder.
Watch it. Yeah, we can do this too.
Last year I got so much older.
If I can spell.
Drinking coffee black as iron.
We can do that too.
I ain't ever been much higher.
There we go.
I'm wishing there more time.
Next jam should have a looper wired in. Nice, dude.
I'm thinking about every day on my mind.
I'm excited.
Are you alive for
Hey, no problem. Get it out there.
thinking about every day on my mind in a typical day? Are you
You alive for my mind. By and by. I can write them. I'm pretty decent at writing stuff. When it comes to rhymes, I'm a decent rhymer. My tongue doesn't move as fast as I want it to, but in my head I can make it move as quick as I want. Hope you don't mind. I'm getting my little morning herbage in. Oh man, I'm dyslexic, man, so I have a problem too. Like if I'm not thinking about it in my head and putting it out, if I'm trying to read it, sometimes I'll fuck it up so bad. Oh man, I'm really bad with like mixing numbers and actual and words and shit too. I don't even know how I do the words sometimes. Really don't. The words quite are impressive to mess up. More my brain's thinking, hey, this is that actual word, but I'm sitting here saying, like, no, it's not. It's this. You're right back. Had to make sure my door shut down to downstairs so I didn't make a lot of noise. Let's go. may get to like 16 May. Let's see what's going on. See what's going on. Damn. Ain't shit going on Twitter. Hodl. And technology. Man, it's crazy. We're gonna have to walk around with vaccine cards and shit. What? Man. It's not right. That's why I'm leaving. When I get a chance to leave the States, I'm leaving. I'll find my own little island. F this shit. I just want freedom. Good morning, DeLorean. The awfully nice blue name you got there. Is this me? What? I didn't. I'm out of blackjack. I'll be right with that. I'll play some blackjack with you. New Zealand? Yes, dude. That is like my go-to. Yeah, I think New Zealand is definitely up there. Like, it's either 1 or 2. And the bad thing, man, is like Australia used to be a place I'd want to live, but I don't know if I want to live in Australia. I just wanted to go there because of the women, but like I can sacrifice not having that, you know what I mean? To have a nice life. I don't know about sacrifice, but you know what I mean. I won't need like a 10-to-1 ratio to find me a decent one, you know what I mean? As of around here, it's like it seems like the ratio is like 3 guys to 1 girl around here. Yeah, it's probably like more like 1-to-1, but really nothing you'd want one-on-one with.
Should have 16 years ago.
Yeah.
It's guitar.
Inside outside.
It's guitar outside.
Wow. Still surviving. So I'm guessing this would be a high or low. But these are, no, it's a double top. Let's do a double top here. This will get interesting today. Yeah, these ones, I had to skip these ones because those are like really, really loud. Like like all I hear like is a lot of water. Ooh, yes. I like the songs, but like I can mute it out the background a little bit, but it's a good song. You listen through it, but like if you play it on a live stream, it just sounds like a shit ton of water flowing. I can't manage the sound of it right through a stream.
She asked. There was a time I thought I could answer, but my tongue gets tied and my thoughts drift away. Glory, glory, hallelujah. The sun is shining.
Hell yeah, man. You just need to like, this is what you need to do.
Glory, glory.
I'm sure you rock your guitar every night. You have to. You play guitar. If you're anything like my friend, he plays every night. Even though he's a fucking amazing guitar player, he plays every night. There may be some nights you don't play, but like theoretically he plays majority of the time. All you need to do is just turn your camera on and say, hey, I'm going to play this one song tonight, pick you out a song, and record it, and just post it, man. Throw it out there. I mean, you ain't ever going to get anywhere if you don't do it. I'm telling you. Don't hold yourself back.
They shut the space with a hard work day, but it's the little things, all the little things, not expectations.
I mean, like a 10-minute session of playing like one or two songs. There you go, dude. Like the 10 to 15 minute sets, like you did last night. Just that little bit, you know. All right, get some work in, man.
Sun is shining down.
What up, Bass? How we doing?
Glory, glory.
Have a good one, guitar. Teach them kids some good things.
I'm alive. And the world is fine. No, 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 no. Oh, 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 oh.
Anything going on here? Nope. Trace potty. Definitely liked that last night on my phone.
Happy Easter, y'all.
Guitar outside.
Let's get that one. The water ones are just. Ooh, this one's my. There we go.
River was whiskey, and I was a diving dove. The river was whiskey, and I was a diving dove. The river was whiskey, and I was a diving dove. Yeah, yeah, nope, yeah, yeah. I dive upon the bottom, baby, I'll never come up. But put your arms around me, baby, baby, like a circle around the sun. Put your arms around me, baby, like a circle around the sun. Put your arms around me, baby, like a circle around the sun. Yeah, yeah, I dive upon the bottom, baby, I never come
come up. The sun gonna shine in my back door someday. The sun gonna shine on my back door someday. Hope the sun gonna shine on my back door someday. Yeah, yeah. Dive up on the bottom, baby, I'll never come up. Be a good day to be a duck.
A good day to be a duck. A mighty duck. Not only a duck, a mighty duck.
Throwback.
Hey.
It's really hard to
You are part of the mod squad now.
while you're in the middle of something. But this is one that I recorded 6 years ago, and I'm going to go back and listen to my voice and listen to my technique. And it's always so cool to see.
Oh man, thank you.
Doing the
I'm
same
trying to
thing
figure it
over
out.
and
I'm getting the
over
whole
the same
jumping thing down. Wait till I get that
and
fucking
seeing
jumping
yourself
shit
doing it
down.
radically different or
Once I figure that out,
just
I'll
by
be all right.
doing
And
the
the
same thing over
like
and
the
over again.
my timing.
That's,
I get my timing more down.
practice. I think it pays off. So this is Rivers and Roads.
Started watching you guys and just catch on what you guys are doing. Run in for a shot, go back, play D. Run in for a shot, go back, play D. If you're around the ball, pass it if you can. If not, go back, play D, come back. Go get a big boost. That's all I know to do. And I'm figuring out my brake button.
I guess it's just as well.
Yeah, 1533 is live. This can come up. That's easier said than done, Bass. My left toggle button is the most sensitive thing you ever fucking, like, seriously. These Elite controllers, the left toggle on them, it's ridiculous how sensitive they are, and you can't turn them down, dude. It's retarded. Yo! What up? When I'm on an airplane? No, where you going? Well, Lauren, we play in the evenings. We play in the evenings. Me, Bass, and his their wrecking crew. They're really amazing too, Dorian. They're really a good squad. And it's fun to watch and play with them. I'm not very good, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the crap out of it. Yeah, we play like 3 or 4 games and we chill out for like 5-10 minutes, hang out, look at things, see what's going on, and then we play some more. Vegas for my birthday with the wife. Nice, man. Well, happy birthday, or early birthday, or whenever your birthday is. Happy birthday. That'd be pretty fun. I went to Vegas one time with my buddy that I actually live with now. We went for New Year's, and it was so packed. Like you went to walk the drag strip, like the drag, and it was elbow to elbow with. I mean, just it was ridiculous. So we ended up just finding someone to get us some medical herbs, and we just went back to the. We stayed at the Caesar's Palace. I think is that Caesar's Palace. Yeah, we stayed at Caesar's Palace. I think that's where we stayed. But we just went back there and hung out and watched all the fireworks and everything go crazy from the. We were on like the top floor up there, watching it from there.
Enough days of 50-degree weather.
I know that airport.
When you start to think
I know that airport. Oh, that's a freaking awesome airport. It's underrated and it's actually really nice price to if they fly there. Yeah, dude.
New little ditty. Still working on.
It's a new little game I'm starting up playing. I used to be. I'm just a Call of Duty or two. I play a lot of Call of Duty. I played a couple games last night. It was fun. I'm ready for the new one to come out. That's for sure. But I gotta buy it sometime. Oh yeah, I do that all the time, Bass. I know. Believe me, I know it. It's in my head is telling me to, hey, chill the fuck out, but my body is like, go, 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 go. So I'm starting to figure it out. Give me about a week or so.
Need those emo gloves.
That's insane. Round trip tickets to Vegas, $350. That is nuts. Like $150 a person, or $175 a person. So. Hell, back in the day, I'd be like, "Hey man, pack me in your suitcase." Now I'm like, "Man, I'll just go. Let's go." And on the mountain thing, believe me, I'm a snowboarder, so. I'd rather be in like Breckenridge or Vail or Japan. Even though I've never been to Japan, I'd love to go snowboarding there. Where else? I don't mind if I whiff them, Bass. I really don't mind it because I'm just like, dude, I'm new. Fuck it, whatever. And then you guys are always right there anyways, coming in for the shot. So I'm like, whether I hit this or I don't, someone's right behind me, so I'm cool. Yeah, I missed going snowboarding last year. Yeah, I just didn't have the funds to do it last year. Or I did, but I had 2 kids. Yeah. So hopefully I'll get a chance to take them this year. It's definitely an experience of a lifetime to go to the mountains and go out and play in the snow and to even learn either. Let my kid pick whether he wants to snowboard or ski. I don't care as long as he just enjoys it. Found her just like the world. Had to know her mind. She opened up so slow. Scared to let love in. I know, man. I'm trying to enjoy every second of it without trying to be the bad dad. You know what I mean? Not saying like the bad dad. I just want to keep them having good structure. I just don't want them getting out of line. Yeah, you're telling me about like a little. Fuck, what was that place called, Bass? I just forgot the name of that place you went over to, or was that you telling me about that? Too many concussion. Too many, or maybe too many lefties. I don't know. Hell yeah, good shit, guitar. Mount Charleston. Yes, it was. All right, I wasn't going nuts.
Posture check.
Posture check. You're sitting in a tree.
Spine.
You're sitting in a fucking tree. How the hell you got posture check? Motherfucker fucking posture. I'd look like that tree right now if I was sitting in it. I'd be laying on it. Oh, fuck. Tied me off on a rope. I need a hammock. We need a hammock jam.
Original.
Yeah, one more. Let's get it.
See the forest through the trees. I like to go there, to a place where when it rains, yeah, yeah, they call it a monsoon. Under skies that could cry, gray right out there.
Apparently Arizona does too now.
I heard my brother sing out, singing out. You don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone now. You don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone to be everything. Crow came round to share the sounds, to laugh and then join him. I cleared my throat to growl some notes. Again begins beating, singing out. You don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone.
Hey, what up, dude?
You don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone. You don't have to be someone to be everything.
Good happening. There we go. Nothing good. Look at this. Look at this view. This is going good. I'm just gonna sit here and look at this view for a minute. It's going good. We're having a good morning. Wait, scroll up a bit? Can't scroll up. What are you talking about? Oh, on Twitter? Ah! Wait a minute. Let me look at. I didn't even see it! Ah! 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 Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh man. Oh shit. Good thing this is an 18 and older stream. Oh, that's hilarious. That was a good one. Demonetized? Ah, you know. It is what it is. I can't say it's not really gonna hurt me. My channel's not the hugest, you know what I mean? I really don't think they're gonna be looking at a guy with like 800 subscribers. hence I play music all the time and nothing ever happens. I'm just ghosted really bad. I don't know if it's still doing it, but they used to like not even like what they used to do to Rocky. Not even send alerts or nothing out. But I don't really care. Yeah. This is when the time comes. I was demonetized my channel to where like I don't take any revenue from YouTube and it'll all be from just donations. If it comes to that point, you can do that and do whatever you want and play whatever you want. My friend Minor Ho does it. He plays any music he wants, anything like that. He just takes donation through like if anybody wants to donate, he just does it through. I hope it does too. I hope they open a platform. I really do. I hope I want GameStop to open an actual gaming streaming platform, to where, or just even a streaming platform for anything would be amazing. I think it'd be I sent me an email about that about 4 months ago. Nah, it wasn't that. 2 months ago. I asked them if they were planning on developing any kind of streaming platform, and what they should do is people that stream on their platform should get discount codes, and then they can give their discount codes out to the people in their audience. So like, hey, I got a 20% discount code for the Xbox Elite controller if you want to get one now, or I got a 10% off. Time is a blur these days. Or I got like a 10% off of a PlayStation 5 code here if anybody's thinking about getting a PlayStation, you know. It's just to be a huge platform for them in general as of sales too, and it's just extending out to the actual people that really don't even know who they are. You know, I got hundreds of gamer friends. Hundreds. That's streamers. Hundreds of streamer gamer friends. I couldn't tell you how many actually gamer people I know, but I bet there's only like 2 out of the 100 I know that actually know anything about GameStop and what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge market they are actually missing on. You know what I'm saying? And it in my mind, it's something that they need to start focusing more on. As I mean, maybe not just like all the time, but like hell, if my gamers didn't know GameStop was legit, like I'd be quite concerned. Yeah, but like they gotta capture the people they're going for, though. Hell, they don't even have big name streamers say anything about GameStop. They don't even have any promotions. Yeah, they don't even have any like promotional things going on with, like, they're so quiet. I understand like you don't want to like do this shit like wild like out there, but like you still gotta get the eye of the gaming community, man. You are original OG gaming company. An OG gaming company. I understand you're moving more towards like a retail company, but you have to get them OG gamers coming back. And they're following. I mean, hell, like, you see all these big fucking Modern Warfare terms and shit like that, but you don't see no like promoting or no like ads through these tournaments for GameStop. Go shop GameStop. You know what I mean? Fuck it. I don't know. Something. But I love the company. I love it. I love the aspect of what they're doing. I just think there's so much more that could be done, and I think they realize that, but I don't know. They got a lot of money. To do whatever they need to do with. I never got an answer to that email anyways. It's pretty much the email. What I sent to him was a big fat fucking, this is what I think the company could do and should do. But, you know. Zilch response. Yeah, but I understand after the NFT, but you should have started. I don't know if they've maybe done something behind the scenes with some gamers or whatnot, like actual professional gamers, like Dr. Disrespect or like Tim the Tatman, or even like fuck it. Some other, there's so many people you would have figured out. You would have thought by now you would have had someone within a streaming community, like getting discount codes with GameStop and handing them out. You know what I'm saying? But like that hasn't happened. And I don't know, maybe it's just too much to try and start up our own platform. I really don't know how much all that stuff would cost to make your own platform, or...
Go outside. Guitar outside.
Alright, 30 minutes to market open. Yeah!
Whoop. Wow. It's a song about a place and a bird. This place. See the forest through the trees. I like to go there.
Yeah, I've tweeted at him.
To a place where when it
I get zilch response, man. I did tweet at him, and I've seen that they do, but it's like,
under skies that could cry. Gray out their eyes.
who, guitar? Arizona.
Set underneath my
I don't know if he's in Arizona in this picture, but yeah.
Heard my
Yeah, Arizona.
You don't have to be someone. 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 You don't have to be someone.
Here, I'll do a tweet with you guys here. Here, oh shit. There we go. You want to tweet him? We get a real gaming platform that gives out discount codes to their streamers. There we go. Sorry, I can't type really fast. I'm not really good. Discounts codes to the streamers, and then I give them to their community.
What song is that?
And then we'll put what's...
Oh, is it recording?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Okay.
Your
I'm gonna see here, but my flowing
thoughts.
locks in
You look good. Young Simba.
Games.
the wind. Shimba.
I'm just gonna pretend I can do the intro.
Does it just start with? Are we starting just right at the verse?
Oh man, look at my life.
There you go. I tweeted it out. If I get you guys to go in there and like and retweet that, that'd be amazing.
There's so many V's. Yeah, let's start at the verse.
Damn, I already got a like. That was quick as shit.
I'm gonna play you in on an instrumental.
That was quick as shit. I'm just... Damn. That's like the quickest like I ever got in my life. The wind. The wind. There we go. It's clearing up.
Love lost such a cost. Give me things that won't get lost. Like a coin that won't get tossed. Going home to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm
I need someone to love me the whole day through. Oh, one look in my eyes and you can tell it's true.
Oh. Come on, emojis. I told him they need to redo it for me. They're both gonna redo this song for me.
Doesn't mean that much to me. Mean that much to you. I've been first and last. How the time goes past. Now I'm all alone at last. Rolling home to you.
All right, man. Have a good one, Space.
Oh, man. Where's my note?
Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it.
I think I'm trying to go higher. I'm trying to go. Trying to go higher. Okay.
Oh
man, take a look at my life.
I've got it
That
fucked up now.
doesn't seem right.
Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm alive like
I need someone to love me the whole day through. Oh, one look in my eyes and you can tell it's true. Damn, that was beautiful.
Get on camera.
Yeah.
We can't play that one. Can't play any Pink, so we'll have to go down and go to my mix. Let's see what my mix is. There we go.
So I'm going for both with every song I play, 'cause now it's my turn to keep the wolves away.
I no longer want to be called a survivor. I want to be called a victorious being. They may have dampened my spirit long ago, but they didn't kill it. I'm victorious in the sense that I'm still here. I know how to love. I love myself. I love my family. I love my community. Never mind survivor. I'm victorious.
There must be some kind of way out of here, said the joker to the thief.
Never gets old. Never gets old.
There is too much
I can listen to this every morning,
confusion.
every day. Just the guys in our community
I
and the gals,
get no
and they get me some stuff.
relief. Businessman, he said, drink my wine. Oil man, dig my earth. None of them, I said, along the line. No do know not what it's worth. No reason to get excited. The thief, he kindly spoke. There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. But you and I, we've all been through that. And this is not our fate. So let us not talk falsely now. The hour is getting late. It's getting late. It's getting late. All along the watchtower, princes kept their view. All of the women said they came and went. Barefoot servants too. Outside in the cold distance, while cat did growl, two riders were approaching, and the wind began to howl.
Yeah.
Sit all along the watchtower. I said up along the watchtower. Up along the watchtower. There must be some kind of way out of here.
I no longer want to be called a survivor. I want to be called a victorious being.
I don't know if they're going to be ready for this. Cyrus Jones, 1810 to 1913. He made his grandchildren believe he could live to 103. 103 is forever when you're just a little kid. So Cyrus Jones lived forever. Won't you dig my grave? Will you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? Grave digger, Maria Stonewall, 1903 to 1954. Lost both the babies in the Great Second War. Now you should never have to watch your children lowered into the ground. You should never have to bury your babies. Grave digger, won't you dig my grave? Won't you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? Grave digger, grave? Will you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? Grave digger, little Mikey Carson, 67 to 75. He rode his bike like the devil until the day he died. When he grows up, he wants to be Mr. Vertigo on the flying trapeze. Ooh, 1940 to 1992. Grave digger, won't you dig my grave? Would you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? Grave digger, won't you dig my grave? Could you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? Grave digger. Thank y'all so much. Ah, man. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Yeah. Oh.
No, we can't play no Simple Man. Let's go with some playing, buddy.
The world was on fire and no one could save me but you. Here's what desire and foolish people do. I never dreamed
You gotta push the power button, the yellow button. Push the yellow button. You gotta push it, it'll turn on.
I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody alive. No, I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love with you. With you. What a wicked game to play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do, to let me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say.
What are you doing?
You never felt
Drawing
this
the
way.
thing.
What a wicked thing
Yeah, drawing that. Draw some letters.
to make me dream of you. And now I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna
Set it down.
fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love.
I have two kids myself, but this my buddy's kid's up here. He took a shower, so I'm watching his kid while he gets ready. He's back here playing my kid's stuff.
With you.
I have two kids, yeah.
The world was on fire and
I don't even remember what.
but you.
That's it. Here, I'll show you this. These are my boys. They're 3 years apart, but these are the same. These are the same age at the same time. Yeah, those are my boys.
I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you.
Like this. These boys.
I never dreamed that I'd lose
This.
no. I don't wanna fall
That's
in
them.
love. No. I don't wanna fall in love. No. I don't wanna fall in love with you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. That's all I'm hoping for.
Nobody loves no
1547 pre-mark. Good. Let's go. We need to get to that 1549. We need to get that past that 1549. Was that loud? That was good, Ray. That was good.
That's how we all should be feeling.
Flying high. You know how Ray feels? A GME going to the sky. You know how we feel. The moon.
Drifting on by, said you know what I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me.
I won't get none of that, man. I won't get any of that taught. Oh, you don't even get taught how to balance a checkbook in the school. Where I'm from, you don't.
And I'm feeling good.
You're working class people. You work. Working class people work.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free.
Yo, morning, Chippy. How we doing? Good to see ya. Good to see ya.
Blossom on in the trees, and you know.
You're right. Like, if I could afford to send my kid to private school when it gets time, I would. But private schools cost so much around here. It's ridiculous. I know this like little like a little private school. Yeah, they said it was like $3,800 a year or something like that, which I guess like that's not that much, but still, it's a lot for me. But like I said, I don't plan on being here. Well, good to see you. Be better to see your face. But it is good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming here, Chippy.
You know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is This old world is a new world and a bold world for me.
You're a part of the Mod Squad, Chippy. Anybody know that's good people gets the moderator. Oh, like I said, anytime I know it's good people, they get the moderator. No, Illinois. Illinois. Southern Illinois. It's kind of like Kentucky and Tennessee mashed up. Or you could say Kentucky and Missouri. How are you doing, Ashley? You having a good day? No, that's not really that far off, honestly. I mean, I'm 4 hours from Tennessee. So, think about it that way. And the other end of the... I don't know if I could do that, do I? I really don't think I could. Friendly accents over there. Always friendly, man. Let's go. 220 pre-market. Probably do exactly what we did. Have a run. Come back down. Fill the gap. And then whoop, do it again. Hopefully we just keep going. But gap up. Look. Fill the gap. It did. It did. It is a higher high, but this is not. Shenanigans. We have no idea. Yeah, it's just more of a like, I know you and I trust you. You don't have to do anything. You really don't. I just do it because I know you, like personally, and it lets me know who I don't know. Way easier. Because when it comes down, I won't ever like take money from YouTube, like ever. I'll just do like via PayPal. That's how I will know, instead of having like a subscriber thing next to my name. So this is basically like, I know you're a subscriber. Having your wrench is like a new subscriber for me. I'm a hot wrench in general. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. What if two mods fight? Well, I mean, they can get over it. They can be grown-ass people and fucking get over it. That's all I gotta say about it. Or I'll kick both your asses out.
Can't you see there's more to me than my mistakes? Sometimes get this feeling makes me hesitate.
Oh yeah.
I believe
everybody has differences. And when people start realizing, like, hey, this person has a difference of this, then just kind of, like, if you guys have to, then don't go into those worlds. Keep it in a positive world where you, like, you know, you have something positive together with, you know? You don't have to bring a negativity out. Fuck it. I'm tired of that shit. For sure.
You can't take me down. You can't break me down. You can't take me down.
It's on. Cage Match 2 mods. Hell yeah. Love it.
The place of trouble, and I'm out of the
See what we got. Donkey. Yeah, that's my boy. I'm waiting for GameStop to reply back. Probably won't get one. I think I've done this before, but I wasn't live, so I did it this time live. See if I get a response from GameStop. Be awesome. It'd be funny if we seen like GameStop come into chat and say, "Hey, like your idea." That'd be cool. But they're not going to. Opening market started now, and we're off. GME 225.91. Let's go. Oh, I can't do that. This one. Oh, this one. This one. And that one. Alright, we're good to go. GME, we'll just break it down to like where people like to see it, eh? Auto button. There you go. There you go. On the 5 minute, let's just go with 15. Look at it from there. Still got the gap. Woo! Go, baby, go. Get some ass. Get some ass. Hit that ass button. Whatever you want to do. Ding, 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 ding. Sound like Donkey Kong.
This is you, this is me, this is all we need. Is it true? My faith is shaking, but I still believe. This is you, this is me, this is all we need. Is it true? My faith is shaking, but I still believe. This is you, this is me, this is all we need.
Oh, it's
So
gonna
hold me
be,
while you wish that I was good enough. If only I could wake you up, my love, my love, my love, my love. Won't you stay a while? I wish you cared a little more.
that's 224.
I wish you told me this
Gonna pull
before,
back, get that
my
gap
love,
right now, or we're just gonna keep going.
my love, my love. Won't you stay a
It'd be nice to see come back, get that gap real quick before we take off. It is moving. Gap up, BB. Gap it up. Keep going.
For you, brother, you done right. And the damn price is still wrong.
Come on. Just gotta get some ass behind it, because if we get a higher high here and a higher low here, it'll be bearish. Oh, not necessarily. Well, come on, get some ass. Hey!
I've been sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide
We gotta get some ass. Come on.
roll away. 'Cause I've been sitting on the dock of the bay, oh, wasting my time. I left my home in Georgia,
Oh,
heading for the Frisco Bay, because I had nothing to
pick me up.
live for.
pick me up.
Looks like nothing's
Pick me up, coach.
gonna come my way.
Yee.
'Cause I've been sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide wasting my time. Looks like nothing's gonna change, and everything still remains the same. And I can't do what 10 people tell me to do. So I guess I'll remain the same way.
Thank you.
Sitting here resting my bones. Well, this loneliness won't leave me alone. Because it's 2,000 miles I roll just to make this dark my home. 'Cause I've been sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. 'Cause
Come on,
I've been
baby.
sitting on the dock of the
Got to make a
bay,
decision. Do you want to go up or you want to go down?
wasting my
I'm trying to go around.
wasting my time.
Anything from those? Oh, we got 2. Did we get a reply from GameStop? No. No reply from GameStop yet. We're waiting for the reply. Master Bilbo, that is an amazing remote. Once again, love that remote. Still waiting on this dude. This lovely dude. 83 minutes. She wants to go up. Stonks only go up, right? That's what I've been told for a long time.
I've been sitting on the dock of the bay,
Since March.
oh, wasting my time.
Just me. Okay. Here, we'll do the crazy ass 1 minute chart. How about that? Oh.
Diamond hands, recognize.
Yo, this is tight. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next week.
Stonks only go up, bro. How'd you know that? How'd you know my line?
When my mother
There it goes.
told my
Get in the gap,
father,
guys. Get in the gap.
baby, we got to get away out of here. That's when they told us, meet our niños. We're gonna show you just what we do with fear.
Hopefully the music isn't too loud and I'm not too loud. So if either gets too loud, let me know, please.
They told us buckle up before they step on the gas. I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other. I'm gonna build this house brick.
There we go. We filled the gap. Let's get it. Let's go.
I know
Let's
this
go.
power
Go, go,
ain't gonna
go.
come from another. Always together.
Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty.
We'll find a way.
Come on. We got Rick. We got Morty. Now we just need Morty to come on up and Rick just get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
I said we find a way.
Now he says, get the fuck out of my garden. Did we though? Did we get it? Did we get it? We didn't. Oh man.
Not surviving.
Man, we did. Is that good enough? I mean, that's.
I walk around it by the
cents? Is that good enough? 20 cents good enough? I don't know. I feel like we're going to come down and just maybe kiss it a little bit.
Cause I remember Papa
Maybe come down and kiss a little bit.
And Mama picked up
Like,
a bag. They told us buckle
come on,
up
just go down
before
there.
they stepped on the gas. So I'm gonna
Look at that ass.
one foot in front of the other. I'm gonna build this house brick by brick. You best believe this
Is it enough?
fire ain't gonna come
No, is it?
from another.
It is. It's a wiki wit.
Always together. We'll find
I mean,
a way.
it's enough. It's enough because we're on a 1 minute. I'm just fucking with you. Look, it's enough. It's enough. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
I'm gonna build this house brick by brick. I know this power ain't gonna come from another. Always together.
There it was.
We'll find
There it was. It wasn't enough.
always together.
It wasn't. That was the price is wrong.
I am
I
fine.
think we're gonna come down to like the 217 bounce.
Not
Yeah, I
surviving.
think. Yep. Boom. Right there.
Taking each and
217,
every
and then let's
inch,
bounce.
build
Please.
another mile.
Or we're looking to come see 215. Boop, boop. Yo,
Thank you so
Pico.
much.
Welcome.
I will run with you in the darkness.
No.
Hold your hand.
No.
when it rains.
You're right. Hold on. Hold on.
We will make
Oh,
this light together.
shit. What age?
'Cause there is
What?
nothing
What did she just do?
gonna keep us away.
What? HT get what? Mod? Oh, mod squad. What? What's this doing?
I know where I need to be.
Where's my phone at? I ain't getting no notifications. Nothing. Or my deaf.
My mind's a one-way track. I know where I need to be. I know that I can tell.
How are you looking on the other ends of this?
Make the
Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Woohoo!
I can find
Came down here and went to almost to 15. Almost.
whole heart, but love's gonna
Phew.
set us
That's scary.
free.
That was very scurry.
I will run
Be
with
turned over. You keep going up.
the darkness.
We AHT only goes up too. Not stonk, but yeah.
You when it rains.
So easy to tell me when someone that I don't know comes in. You know what I mean?
Light together. 'Cause there is nothing that's gonna keep us away.
All right. Anyways.
This fear is not gonna be the foolish enemy.
Oh man.
Gonna fight nail and teeth.
It's gotta keep going. Come on, baby. Don't be
Way to navigate.
curling. Filling that gap.
Do not hesitate.
I wish I was filling that gap. That gap's nasty. Let's give you perspective. Oh, that's a 1 hour daily.
Or make the memories see.
Give you the daily
I
view
can
of it.
fight the demons with my whole heart. But love's gonna set
Let me get that
us
perspective.
free. I will run
Bad mod.
with you in the darkness.
Making a
Hold
new
your
high on the
hand
daily, but
with
it's
you when it rains.
not yet higher than the 17. So if oh man, this would be if we can make that there. Woo! My tits would be so jacked, like literally jacked to the tits.
I will run with you in the darkness. Hold your hand with you when it rains. We will make this light together. 'Cause there is nothing that's
Yeah, I
gonna
think we may make it
keep
like
us
shall we
away. from living love.
You guys can be whatever gang you want to be.
That's for y'all.
This is rough. Take the hourly out on this one.
You'll know what to do when it starts. I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing. She makes me feel alright. She makes my heart sing. And when I'm feeling lonely, it comes as no surprise. Turns me up with love, breaks me to paradise. Do you love me, Mary Jane? Yeah, yeah. Do you think you love me, Mary Jane? I love her just the same. Mary Jane. I love her just the same. Mary Jane. I'm in love with Mary Jane. I'm not the only one. If Mary wanna hang around, I'll let her have a fun. He's not the kind of girl that you can just tie down. She likes to spread her love, turn your head around. Do you love me, Mary Jane? Oh, oh, oh. I said, do you think you love me, Mary Jane? Now don't you play no games.
Since I was born. I know, I need this to not do what it's doing right now. I need this to go to like 16, 17. I don't really need it to. I mean, I'm like up pretty decent right now.
Said I
But
love her just the same. Come on in, baby, yeah, yeah. I said, do you? Do you love me, Mary Jane? Now don't you play no game. I said, do you? Now do you think you love me, Mary Jane?
I can't stop.
Don't you play no games. Mary Jane, I love her just the same. Mary Jane, I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing. She makes me feel alright. She makes my heart sing. Rising up, back on the street. Take my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You change your passion for glory. Now your grits on a dream of the past. You must find, just keep them alive. Each day I am tired, it's the feel of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor starts to spray in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of a tiger.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Face to face, out on the heat. Staying tough, staying hungry. They stack odds, still we take to the streets. And we kill with the skill to survive. What the? Let's digest that one again. Holy cow. Face to face, out in the heat. staying tough, hanging hungry. They stack the odds, still we take to the streets, and we kill with the skill to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the feel of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
Anyways, it's close enough. I don't give a fuck.
Rising up straight to the top, have the guts, got the glory. Went the distance, and I'm not gonna stop. Just a man and his will to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
That's right. The old cockroach.
We just had to do a little reboot up here. So enjoy this loop for another
Let's
few seconds.
enjoy this little.
Yeah. We got, I know, right? I woke up to the sky first. Baby flew just like we rehearsed. When I get up off this ground, I shift the leaves back down to the brown, 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 till I'm clean.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. It's Ray. Legend.
Then I walk around this shaded by the trees, like a meadow of green, for about a mile. I was heading to town, in Psycho. All my favorite colors. All my favorite colors. Yes, my sisters and my brothers. See 'em like no others. All my
Oh, shit.
colors. A good day for me, a good day to see, good day to be my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers, see 'em like no others. All my favorite colors. Now take me to the other side. A little bit of bluebirds fly.
And it's gone.
Clouds, white walls, blue skies. We're gonna fly and feel alright. Yeah. Just tell 'em. We're gonna ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay, we go up now. Check it out. Check it out. Not quite. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I am an avid YouTube searcher. I always look for everything. So I pretty much search for, at the time I was searching for AMC, AHT, and Lucid, people that were going over all those. And I couldn't find anybody I liked. I fucking instantly hated the guy, the Asian guy with the dog. Like, he was just annoying, asking for money for treats. And then I came across Matt Kors, and I thought that'd be the kid that like could just be annoying in school. So didn't watch him for but like literally maybe a week, and I was like, dude, this kid. Then I the trades thing. Watched him for like a month, and I was like, this guy has no clue what he's talking about. None. I was like, there has to be something better. So in like, I think it was March, I just started scrolling and just watching little bit, and I finally found Rocky. Then I found Jamie. I bet I went through at least 30 YouTubers, and I bet the total time I watched on them was probably about 45 minutes, because there's like at least 30 or 40 of them that like I watched 10 seconds and was like, yeah, I hate this guy. And it's not like I hated them, but I just didn't think they were clickbaiting. They were all clickbaitish, and I don't like people that just like come in there to clickbait people to get you out of your money. Yo!
Thank y'all very much. Yeah, thank y'all very, very much. Thank y'all. That's all good, man. You want to check something? We're going to tune up real quick, y'all.
I found him in March. Okay. February, March, yeah. The end of March is when I finally found him. Then I ended up subscribing to him in like April, May. I gave it 2 months, and I think I subscribed after 2 months, and I was like, this guy really knows what the hell he's talking about. Like, legit, really knows what the hell he's talking about. And then we became friends. More like brothers. Exactly, they are real, and they have the greatest message ever. They want to change the world. So, like, who doesn't want to do that? Oh, what? What? Oh man, it's off to the side. No! Why'd I do that? Oh man. I can do this though. Watch this. I got a little trick I can do. Got a little trick. I don't want to be like looking at that. I'm still standing. Yo, DeLorean, thank you for the $5. Enjoy the children. Thanks, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And we'll get that going again. Please sit. I clicked it too many times. It's probably gonna play one more time. I appreciate it, DeLorean. I really do. I just enjoy you guys being here. Ah, yeah, see? I accidentally clicked it again. What is going on? Oh, Rocky's on!
We're going to take a look at the charts in a minute. We can also take a look at some cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. I'm going to take it somewhat easier today because last night I might have had a drink or two, so I might be a little bit feeling a little bit rough today. So let's.
Uncle Bruce, yeah, I did watch Uncle Bruce. I just thought he was a grumpy old man for a while. He liked to eat. He You remind me too much of like a grandpa, so it's like, just can't be listening to my grandpa right now.
News talking about the Federal Reserve and how it's going to begin reducing its asset purchases, and that's news, very big news, I suppose, in terms of the U.S. economy. Key takeaways from it are that they're reducing it at a rate of around 15 billion per month, and that they are actually going to keep monitoring the situation. Now, you would have expected, of course, that's what you expect, right? We obviously they're going to keep monitoring the situation, and obviously they can change their minds if they want. But they mentioned that as part of the whole thing when they were talking about this yesterday. So it's worth pointing out that they do they want to reassure everybody, like reassure everybody as they go. So they're making it all seem nice and normal, which is good. Right, we've got various movers as well today. AHT, is AHT going to, that's got stock screener open at the minute. Let me just close that down. Yeah. So we got this one, for example, over here, AHT, which we're wondering, will this hit back down at 14.98? Got a target as well that it could go down to 13.24. I actually don't want this one to be hit for quite a while, for ever, maybe just never. We've got this flash in between giving us that kind of hope that, of course, that we might not go back there. So, while I speak on this 15-minute candle, it's been positive, but in the 15 minutes prior and the opening range of the day so far, really we've had negative price action there. So, GME, for example, over here, $215 at the minute. Yesterday, talking about this up at the 200 and, well, where was it? 239 when we were speaking, talking about how it looked as though we could be coming back to get in and fill in this gap.
Love you too, Katie.
Well, we did.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much.
Go see this man.
There's maybe a tiny
Show him
little
some love.
sliver of a gap left on there.
Definitely go see this man. Don't watch me. Watch him.
In terms of the bigger time frames.
You guys watch him.
Right in there.
Pretty much all I do is just sit here and promote.
Right in there. So
and watch him.
Where we are
and look
right
at
now
charts.
is asking questions about where we could possibly, end up going next. Nice to see a golden cross, you could say, on between the 50 simple and 200 simple in the 1 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, you can see that we'd be coming in for a cross soon enough. 24 hour time frame here, you can see that we've never actually crossed negatively since we crossed positively all the way back in September 2020. So these are the sorts of things that, of course, longer term outlook people will be keeping an eye out for. These moving averages here, and haven't come down and tested the 200 simple recently, which was the first time, of course, since the cross back in September 2020. Having come back and test that for the first time in the 24-hour time frame, that's nothing unusual
GameStop reply to me.
In the grand scheme of things. If you want to see that sort of like, here's a stock that's been around for a while that we look at from time to time as well. Another one, here's hitting off the 200 and hitting off the 200 again over here. Don't know if you can see that. Over here we hit off the 200 in like November 2020. Over here we hit off the 200 in October 21. So you can see like there's just another example. Let's bring up another stock. Here's MMAT. We crossed over here back in December 2020. Never hit it. Did hit it here. Pushed through. Came in and it's giving us this flux. And over here we're looking at it and saying, well, could you potentially see this here have a bit of a pullback? Matt, if I got the right one up, yeah. Could it potentially have a bit of a pullback here as we're in this area? Weekly time frame, obviously very, very positive, but overall we're in a big range. So anyway, I'll hide my background in a minute or two and all that good stuff, and we'll get on with the show. We'll check how all the chat's getting on as well. How you doing in there, chat? How you doing? Ooh, let me see what you say. So we'll do that, but I'm going to do the couple of things first. Couple of things. One is the squats, El Squattos. Let's get the squats out of the way. Let's do some squats. We'll do 18 of them again. Oh, gosh. And I'll make my hair less messy. How about that? That'll be good. And then I'll show you something. I'll show you something cool that got sent to me. Show you something cool. Just a second though. Let's do the squats. 6 break for 10 seconds, 6, break for 10 seconds, 6, break for 10 seconds. You know the score. Let's do this.
Yo, what up, Elite? How we doing, brother? Doing good? All right, brother. Have a good one, DeLorean. It's good to see you in here, man. Ugly.
They're more tiring, definitely. Definitely.
Still streaming? Still playing, man? I'm just now getting back in the groove. Um,
Okay, well done.
I'm doing
everybody.
push-ups.
Right, got something cool to show you.
Duo. I
Thank
do
you so much to
push-ups.
Apple Blossom for sending this out
I
to
usually
me.
wait till he gets done. And
Check
yesterday I
it
did
out. No, this
squats.
is
And then
essentially
after
like
the
an
stream, I was like, man, I do my push-ups.
unboxing, kind of.
I don't really do too many squats. I'm just more of a push-up guy. If you want me to do some push-ups, I'll do them for you right here. But I do them every day. My
I've not
son
opened
does
it up
5
yet,
every
only
day
right
too.
Just minutes before I started the show.
Oh, okay.
I
Let me
had
get
to
this
see.
thing out of the way.
So,
Oh, I
what's
ain't
that
got much
thinking?
room in here. You know,
What's that? Let me just show
you ain't gonna be able to see me do my push-ups. Here, I'll squat for you right here.
Got this
I'll just
button
get the
here.
squats out of the way.
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness!
Uh,
Oh my goodness!
see?
That's too bright, isn't it?
There you go. Take a nap. I don't even know how many I've done. See? Look at this. Now, but me and my son, we do push-ups every day together. He does 5 at 4 years old. He can do 5 push-ups. It's nutty.
How cool is that? How cool is that? How cool is that? That's awesome. That's awesome. So awesome. Brilliant. Oh, here, right, I'll get rid of my background. Get rid of it, Rocky. There you go, floating. Class. There's some reviews coming in of that. Oh, got some squat advice.
There you go. There you go. It's not bad to take a break every once in a while.
Advice from my fitness obsessed friend. I'm totally feeling it in the glutes more now. Okay, wider legs, maybe.
Pull-ups.
Oh my goodness.
I would, but my left arm would like be still hanging there with me walking off because half my left shoulder is ripped out right now. My labrum ripped.
Holy sugars.
And
Yeah.
cost too much to fix it.
F yeah.
So we don't
Totally. Brilliant.
Yeah,
So,
get the 1K.
awesome. Thank you so much.
One
Very
day,
kind of
man.
you.
One day.
I
I
don't
don't
know where I'm
push
gonna
it.
put up yet.
It'll happen one
I
day.
have to think about these things. It's awesome. So thank you. Let's go take a look around at a couple of stocks and see what's
I
going
always
on.
say I'd rather have
Um,
10
we
good
gonna have
people
to-
than 1,000 douchebags.
are we going to have to think about what we're doing a bit closer in terms of anything here? Are we just going to have to kind of wait it out and see how things kind of go? I mean, what's the chat here? Let's bring up. I love neon signs. Yeah, it's so amazing. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? Just so awesome. That's so awesome. Right? Yeah. So I mean, this is really, we've been really positive recently. This is a weekly time frame, as you can see. So this week so far, essentially, if you want to look at it in terms of would we put in a high on the weekly, which would be the first time that we'd put in a high on the weekly for so long. That if we end up the week above 210, so you could say then that we've got this sort of 210. Mizzy. What's that one say? Morning, Rocky. My uncle has terrible luck with shares and has been scarred since the last crash. But my mum asked me to ask my stocks guru, you, if you get time, please look at TGA. He said they're offering a 30% dividend. Interesting stuff, right? That's cool. I'll take a look at TGA. And naturally, yeah, of course, scarring. It is scarring, isn't it? These.
I've already had one surgery on it.
events
I messed it up again.
Are scarring.
Actually, picking up
So
my
there's a
kids.
question here,
I felt it rip too.
If we call it $210,
It was horrible.
Is sort of the higher high on
Yeah,
the
I've literally had my shoulder put back in place already one time.
You know, it's a big ticket.
Got like
to get,
one
so
of
it's a big
those
one.
steel threaded
And
wires
I think that's important to
like
point
wrapped
out,
around my
you know,
shoulder.
So you had a high up here in January,
Or
a high
whatever
in
that
here in March,
wire,
which was lower than
whatever
the
they
high in
use to
January, a
put in
high
your arm
here in
to hold
June,
your arm
so
together.
So then we got up pretty high, but
to repair your
we
labrum.
managed to push higher than we had previously. We had a high in here in September, but we weren't able to push higher than June or the previous March or the previous February. So you see the point that I'm making here. However, we could possibly be pushing higher than September. So that'd be the first time. That'd be the first time since January we'd have had a higher high on the weekly time frame. So that's interesting. Now we've managed to put all this work in here in this week, and obviously as well, little thing that's worth kind of pointing out, I suppose, too, is that the previous highs in here at 210, etc., were it was like a month of price action where we were in and around about that prices without being able to push higher. So it was significant in terms of resistance, but also wasn't very high. It didn't make it as high as it had previously. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean substantially, sort of like we made it up so high up in terms of retracements. I can just chuck all this in the bin actually for the point of doing this. We made it up high, you know, getting up to the 786 there. For example, we made it up high here, getting up to up as high as sort of almost as high in terms of the tick, but past the 618 for sure. And then here on this drop down, in terms of how high up we came, we didn't make it up past the 382, never mind the 50% or the 618, etc. So it wasn't very high. It wasn't a very good high, you know. So that's something to look at. And when we jump up to the monthly time frame, then you can see that as a result of these moves really into the ending of the month, etc., that we're not there yet either. And actually, in terms of like the month, and if I know November could go, if just getting up to 250 again in November, even alone, would be very bullish. So that, you know, so in terms of like, you know, in terms of easy enough, achievable targets in the time frames that we're looking at, are there any, and would they be bullish, and could we do it? Yes. In terms of the retraces that we've had from the bigger time frames, have they been substantial enough to say that they've done enough on a macro trend level? Well, yes, as well. So that's where we stand with these ones, and then over any time, essentially, we could even see retraces back down to these lower levels, like we can see on the hourly time, the 30-minute time frame, where you've got moving averages kicking around down here in the 180s, etc. You know, we could easily see pullbacks to those areas and remain very bullish, given if we were able to do those other things. So, you know, looking at this week, you know, how do we feel about how things go this week? Well, back up to the weekly time frame this week, looking at this and saying, well, hey, do we need to do this week? It has happened all in the 1 week. Do we need to do it this week, or could we get follow through? Thanks so much, Sarah. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Another beautiful morning. It is indeed. Thank you. So do we need to do that this week? Do we need to do that this week? Well, not really, but it would be quite a substantial wick on this candle if we weren't able to do it as well. Quite a rejection of that. However, you know, it doesn't need to be this week. You can have big candles that get rejected, you get follow through. Examples of which on this chart alone, you know, exist, for example, down here, where we saw a big turnaround. And this is, of course, one of the big turnarounds after the major low in the market. In fact, this was the low. We pushed up the weight, get a big, substantial wick here on this thing, pulling us back down the way on this candle here. So you can see the big wick in this region well, the body is only that size, you know, and that, like, so you've had these things in the past, you know, can we have them? But that's not a particularly bullish candle. Bringing that story back down with us towards the 24-hour time frame, I am going to just leave off on the weekly time frame by mentioning then again. Wow, that's so awesome. Can you, I'll give just a second here, right? I'll come back to that in a second. So we've got these two big things to look out for in terms of this thing coming up. We've got 210. It's like, you know, this is the target that we're talking about in terms of the weekly time frame and staying above things, etc. And then there's the other thing to look out for, I suppose, over the next wee while, over the next, you know, day and a half, I suppose, really, is max pain, for instance. Where is that right now, and what's happened with it? Well, since yesterday, I mean, yesterday it was like 187, or the day before yesterday. Now it's 197 is where max pain is, I believe. So, that's what. So those are a couple of things that we could look out for over this little while. And then I suppose there's one other one to stick on as well, which is the sort of the 170 to gap and flash that we've got down there at those two areas. So there's those two kind of things. Those are the three main major price points for us if we're looking in terms of retracements. And the proposition here in terms of both of these, all three of these, which are currently lower than the current price right now. That I'm saying is that we're looking here and saying, well, being above 210 is higher on the weekly. Being above 197 is, or hitting 197 is max pain, and hitting 172 is that gap and flash fill, all of which are bullish targets, where we remain above the 50 simple moving average here in the weekly. One of the things which is maybe worth pointing out here for us in terms of the weekly time frame and where we've come recently would be to zoom on in here and show you the price action with regards to the 20 simple period moving average, or indeed, you know, the Bollinger Band basis line, and seeing that, of course, we dropped below that in July, managed to push back up with our previous highs, but didn't actually take the line out, didn't go towards the top end of the Bollinger Bands or any of that sort of stuff. And then we have pulled back down and now gone up to the top end of the Bollinger Bands now. So in a sense, this here, which was not a massively substantial high, was a little bit of that flux along the way that we talk about from time to time, worth pointing out. And also that and yes, indeed, that we've only just recovered this 20 simple period moving average now in the pricing of this thing. We've only just recovered that now. So, you know, this was previously obviously kind of bearish, and now we've turned into that zone. So movements back down the way overall, while of course taking out these, going back down to these areas at 182, etc., is within the range of the Bollinger Bands, etc. 24-hour time frame, you can see this well in terms of the overall bands that we're of course tracing towards the top side, doing very good, and that's exactly what we want to see. But of course the overall thing goes as far as 157, so the idea of going down at 174, etc., is outlandish and unrealistic. And that's of course where we find the 200 simple period moving average right now. So if we were to go back down to 174, here you'd be looking at this moving average. So if we just kind of show you what that's like, that of course is this price point just here, 176 or so is where my crosshair was when I left that off, just looking over, whoop. That's where that moving average is here on the daily time frame. So that's where we are with this at the minute. Cool, excellent. And jumping back over here, this is to a different chart. This is AMC, very messy. How about we, looks like I've lost my GME drawings, by the way. Obviously, all the undos aren't going to take me back, so I've lost the GME drawings for now. Just gonna live with that because, you know, whatever. So AMC here. Right, and that's cool. Got the fisherman dude up there and everything. Just jumping back over for a second though, before we do that, to read this message came in. Apple, who sent that $5, playing the message again. The birthday present. Oh, it's a birthday present too. Yes. How nice he is. How nice he is. How really nice he is. Thank you so much. The birthday present. Thank you so much. Is from Bad Mama Jamma, Queen Bee, Christy, Sal, the Cockroach, Dixie. That's D, if not everybody necessarily knows. from YouTube here. And Observe Thyself. Don't forget to give them a shout out because it was really was a group effort. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Really, thank you so much. And there maybe even was other people involved there, and if you were missed out on that mention, I'm sure I'll be told all about it, and I'm really grateful and thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm just it's so lovely. Right, okay, cool. So yeah, what was this? Chris, thanks so much. Super chatted. Why is that just a happy birthday? It's not my birthday today though, man. Cheers. Not my birthday today. My birthday's at the end of the month, but thanks so much. Those guys sending that over, being really, really kind and sweet of them. Thanks so much. Oh, look, Crack Rock, you just became a member. And by the way, for other members, if you're interested, Space Banana Banana Banana, you get a free shout out today if you want to advertise your membership-orialness. Rocco Krupi, Nacho Friend, Kieran, KP92, Darren, all you guys, I think, get your free. Check it out down below. You get your free little sort of flair. So check that out as well. And by the way, as well, welcome to WRFRE, Roofree, who's also just joined the Patreon in the last day. Brilliant, excellent stuff. Shout outs for all you good peoples. Yeah, right, cool. So we were chatting yesterday. This is very difficult to see. Even me personally right now, I find this too difficult to see what's going on here. Whoa, Bollinger Bands. Right, okay, so here we are on the weekly time frame on AMC. We're below the median line of the Bollinger Bands. We're below the basis line of the Bollinger Band. Okay, this is the key pivot points for us are going to be quite clear here as well. I mean, we know them anyway. We've talked about this for a number of times. Let's just see. So there's this area here. Oh, I forgot about those. Cool. Right. So there's these areas, $40, that's where the basis line is. Up where our previous highs were, not just once but twice, and this would obviously be reflected on the daily time frame as well, $44. And then if we were to want to start to trace this thing towards the top side and start actually pushing up after this rounded out top that we had previously, then $50 is what you're looking for. So who? Anonymous. Thanks so much, Anonymous. Happy birthday at the end of the month. Hey, thanks so much. It's St Andrew's Day as well, by the way, patron saint of Scotland. So best day of the year. They made it public holiday as well. Woo! Right. So yeah, right. Okay. So those two things, the mess that's in the background here has all been explained at times on the show for sure. You've got things like a big harmonic pattern in the background and stuff like that. But here on the weekly time frame, it is still too kind of dense to see. Here in the 24-hour time frame, yes, okay, big. We know that this thing's down below. Don't be too alarmed. Been there for quite a while. It is ultimately the bearish trend target. When all things are said and done, AMC most likely will return back down to those $10 levels after everything. Is a distinction to the GME chart in terms of like the likelihood of this thing going back down to its where it was before. I think is more or less game over for anybody holding out on that front, because billions of dollars in the bank and all that sort of stuff. So different entities over there. AMC, on the other hand, more or less the same entity, of course. And when the bear trend does kick off, that would be one of my targets. But don't be alarmed about that. Like I say, it's been on here for months now, and it's most likely to stay on here. Probably actually get some other flash in the meantime as well that kind of clears it off the charts. We don't have to look at it all the time, but. There we go. So what else did I want to say about this? Well, we came back up and tested off of this drawing. We came back up and tested off of this drawing. This is one of my really sloppy channel things I've drawn in the past. Gosh, there's so much mess. So much mess. Give me a second actually till I get rid of some of this because it's too much. Still too much, but it's better. Right, get rid of the Bollinger Bands as well. What a mess. Get rid of them. And yeah, well, I mean, that was basically, there's not very much to talk about here in this sense of the thing. I did have these trend lines, which obviously we've retested off of the underside of, if we were to have gone back in the way again. When we went back up the way, we tested off the underside of them. Overall, I'm looking to get these things broken, and I'm looking to move up towards these targets. So we need to start putting in higher highs, etc. And on a 24-hour time frame, you can see that we've not managed to do that. In fact, as well, of course, it's been very volatile. People taking all their profits off the table here immediately and pushing this thing back down when it hit 44 this time. So that's kind of disappointing performance from this one in terms of the kind of the strength and follow through. So we're not getting any of that follow through, that continuation as yet. And again, then it makes you wonder, so if we're wanting to look towards those lower side targets, where could they be? And we've already got them kind of more or less scheduled out for us. There's down towards this 33 area would be the Alamo, or the big pivot point, if you want to call it something, if you want to give it some sort of give it some sort of name in a sense. And then there's the 37 area. 37 is a key pivot point for us on the way up here, coming up towards 36, and that quite a number of times toward that 37, 36 area over a period of that week before pushing through. That was a substantial area to get past, and as we see, we pushed right through it as well, going from the 37s right up to the 38 area, which is pushing right through, unlike having spent the previous week there. So these are the areas to look to. I'd be hoping to get a bounce at that point there if we were to go down the way. So where our moving average is coming in at 50 simple moving average, or the 200 simple period moving average here at the 38 price point, where we're looking to see if we can get these two to come around and cross eventually, in the not too distant future. And when that happens, we'll probably get a retest of them. So if our price action is kicking around here this time, then that's not too bad. We have managed to mostly as well fill in this gap here, as you can see. We've done that on the 1 hour time frame, filled in that gap. So these things, we've done what we needed to do. This is the question at the minute. We've done what we needed to do, and a lot of the traders that are pushing this and then taking away the bringing this volatility in, they're not here today. They're not. They were here yesterday, and they're not here today. GME as well. This is like, there may be a bit more of them over here on GME today, but it's still not the same as it was yesterday in terms of that fast moving market. So, well, I mean, is that fair for me to say? I mean, it is still a really fast moving market. I just mean it's not the same as yesterday. We have moved quite substantially today at 228 down to 211. I mean, that $18, $17 move is significant, and we've done that today. So, right, great, groovy. Yes, Rocky Outcrop LRC, please, my friend. Right, okay, we can do that. We can take a look at LRC. Let's do a little bit of LRC. LRC used it. LRC used it. Right, great. Good to see this thing having dumped, with the best will in the world for everybody watching along and chatting about it. Is good to see that this is done what when you're talking about it being wary of it and how to measure this, etc. It's good to see that it conforms to the rules of technical analysis still, as ever, as you'd expect. And this is not good right now, right here. I think everybody would have felt that anyway. It's probably one of the reasons why people are asking me to look at it, I suppose. $1.15. This is the low. Is this a buying opportunity? Well, sure is. I can show you. Is that a short move? Good, the long one. It sure is, in the sense that in here you've got your ability to manage your risk very easily. If you're thinking about it on this type of basis. Now, of course, no, nobody really will be, but you should be thinking about things along these lines, most likely. All right, dropping down past these areas, well, we can obviously wick down here, come down here, push up again from here, and it be okay, and not actually get follow through and continuation down past this point, and that's okay. If we did get follow through and continuation down past this point, that wouldn't be okay, and therefore you wouldn't want to be in that trade any longer. Remarkable. It's crazy how that works, isn't it? I know, when you say it like that, Rocky, it seems so simple. Why did we not think of this before? Well, nobody knows. The world doesn't teach you that way, I suppose. That's probably your answer. You'd be looking then up towards for stupidly big moves anyway with this thing, even if you were trading up the way. What do you mean by stupidly big move? Well, even going up to 125 or 126 there, while the prices are 116, is a 10-cent move on top of this thing, which is $1.16. So that's a significant move. It's very much tradable and easily done. And then you can get your 5-to-1 risk reward trade without taking out the wick of that previous high in their 4-hour time frame. You know, kind of covering up the fact that that was obviously your past high on, like, say, the 15-minute time frame if you're trading this at the minute. But then does that help people who are not doing this in the only real way that you could actually do this right now, right? Which is that one, not financial advice, not financial advisor. So in terms of looking beyond that, where are we? And that where are we with this one? We've moved so far and done so well, and it's so bullish, it's ridiculously bullish, but it could be time for a correction. And we've experienced an awfully big one so far, seeing that the prices have dropped from what were they, 170 all the way down to 115. Yeah, so we've lost 55-60 cents off this thing, and that's a significant. What percentage is that we've dropped back so far? 33%. Yeah, it's dangerous stuff here. So trading this with leverage, obviously anything over 3x and you've been liquidated. If you're on margin and you're trading this and you bought it at 170, 160, and you thought to yourself, well, you know, really strong markets and stuff like that, I could use leverage on this. I'll use 20x, wiped out, gone. I'll use 15x, wiped out, gone. I'll use 10x, wiped out, gone forever. I'll use 7x, gone, wiped out, gone forever. I'll use 6x, oh, that's gone, wiped out forever. I'll use you see the way I'm going with this? The best you could have, you still have lost 100% of the value of the margin of your position almost by this point in the trade down. Well, about 60-70% of it, you know, when you're looking at fees and everything else, if you've done it with 2x. So that's dangerous, right? That's what that means, dangerous. So watch out for these sorts of things. Pushing down by this point, obviously not worth being in. So where would you be aiming down for if you were looking down the way? Well, you could be aiming down towards 64 cents, and there's a couple other reasons for that. If I jump down to the 3-minute time frame, then of course we know that there's this down here at 64 cents, which was a flash on the on my indicator. So, you know, that's where you'd be looking to. Now, am I bullish on this? Yes, like I said, I'm bullish on this, but I wouldn't be looking at this beyond that area without being aware of the fear that would be involved in that situation, which would be real substantial stuff. Right. However, are we ready for a turnaround? Perhaps. And maybe we need to start consolidating. The ADX is up here quite high. Maybe it'll pull back a little bit. We see it pull back at times. What kind of happens when it pulls back here? Well, let's look at the 3rd of November. Let's look at the 3rd of November. Oh, there's a 3-minute time frame. Sure, let's look at the 3rd of November. It seems to have started to kind of, you know, cool off, and the prices were cooling off there during this period. Well, it went down, then big volatility came back in again for a second. That was mad. I know we're not learning much on the 3-minute time frame, trying to show that. Just wanted to say, well, we could that's new language. We could a consolidate around the bunchels if we don't actually crackadackles nostro supportals. So yeah, cool, excellent, flying here. LRC, says Mango. Right, we want LRC to do really well. Of course we do. Here's Harmony. Oops, I do that from time to time, don't I? I'm typing on the wrong screen. So here's some other ones. Let's go take a trip round crypto lane. 1 USDT. There can only be 1 USDT. Here's the 3-minute time frame, right? It's tiny time frame stuff. Let's not look at this. Tiny time frame. Doom-be-doo-doo. Yeah, if things were to go absolutely to poopy doops, we know that we could go to 22 cents. 22 cents is the target. That's right. That's the target. That's the target. If we get bearishness, if we do. But if we don't, right? If we don't get bearishness, if we do not get bearishness, which this isn't, this is consolidationiness, then our targets are very substantial towards the top side. Now, these are the targets that would take us back within the range, to here, right? Okay, so we take out the 30 cents area, not a big surprise, and then we can start flying towards the top side. So the 236 is in there at 30 cents, not a big surprise. 382 31, 50% at 32. The 618 golden pockets in there at 33 to 34. 786 at 35, the 886 at 36, the 1 at 37, 9. You know, so the last time we were up here doing anything, we were at 37.9. Now, this isn't where the party ends. There's plenty of other places to look to, and I'm going to show you just them as well. So if we were to actually get a movement on up past this area, then of course, as I introduced to the world in my seminal piece of research, Don't Be a Moron by Rocky Outcrop, there was you'd be looking towards this target up here, perhaps in the 45-cent region. That's where the 1618 is. It's expressing the a potential, you know, move up from you know, towards another big target if we were looking at this along some lines. What sort of lions would we be looking along then, Rocky? Well, these sorts of lions, my friends, these sorts of lions. Where the 1618 came in here last time was at 31 from the last moves. The last moves where we went from 26 all the way down to 20. We went up and we hit off at 31. We actually went a long way beyond that. So the idea of us going up towards 45 and perhaps even a long way beyond that are not incredibly, it's not outlandish. These things can happen. That's not a fractal. That's just me showing you how these things can happen. That's all that is. So obviously we would want to see this turn around. Would we not? Yes, we would. 1 hour time frame, we're below the 50 simple moving average. This is being consolidated sideways here. It's not exactly bearish. It's just not exactly bullish either. It's just in a range, and people have just been trading this, you know, with that in mind. So there are a couple extra things that we can look at though to make this a little bit clearer if we are actually starting to move outside of this area. How about I just kind of point out there is this downward moving sort of channel here. Whoops. So there is this channel thing towards the downside, okay? And now maybe there's this channel thing towards the top side. Maybe there's this channel thing over here, right? So maybe we've got this sort of a channel-y type thing on the go. So if that's the case, and we do see movements up the way, we could be aiming in towards that 382, taking us towards that 31 cent target, and then maybe we kind of range around here for a while. Now, this is to say that we've got any currently that we have the impetus right here, right now, to ditch all the way down to that 22 target based off what we're seeing right here, right now, would be an exaggeration, because this, of course, is sideways in amongst this trend, bounced around here. But of course, we are consolidating below the 236, if you want to say that. So, you know, if this was like a bullish chart and you were looking at this saying, could we push up the way? Well, hey, we've had a nice move up and we've managed to stay above the 236, etc., etc., etc. So we obviously need to keep a keen eye out for these 28 cent areas. 28 cents, I think, is a decent pivot where you'd be looking towards 26 for your next bounce there at that point. Talking about 10% moves in these markets currently across the board. Other ones that we've been talking about a lot in the past, you know, you've got your likes of DOT over here. What is it right now? 54.15. Wow, beautiful, nice one. Right into this zone that we were talking about. How weird is that? Why would it be up there where we were saying it could go to? What's that all about? Weird. Anyway, let's just assume that. Let's just this thing. This is pure craziness. Let's just go with it the way. What could happen if we actually pushed into this region? Wonder what could happen. Well, the top end of that comes in at around about $62. So there's that for you. You know, decent enough, easy to make these moves become a reality. Have we gone enough so far from where we came from? And you're looking up there and see it. That's where that 1618 is. Could give you that impression as well, being aware of the fact that while we're in this region here, we're obviously not above the is this, yeah, all right, okay, well, we're in that region there. We're not above the resistance of this zone. So this is a resistance taken area. Zooming on in just to see how things have been getting on. These three wee peaks here, a little bit resistant, having come up towards the top end of that RSI. Do we actually need to come down and test at this lower end? Do we need to have a retrace? I wonder. I wonder a little bit. This type of divergence that we see whilst in all-time highs at the predicted area that we've had from before in the past in the charts when we drew this in for some reason, presumably. I trust myself. This is to be anticipated. So actually looking to play this right here, right now, from any highs would be the wrong way around to do it. You'd only want to play it for the short side from beyond any lows almost, or like, once we've cracked them. So it's the if this then that scenario, really. So anyway, as we're into this area and there is a bit of a wedge on the go here, it's maybe worth thinking about how we might have we could experience a degree of volatility in this zone, but then actually maybe perhaps even push on beyond it if the bullishness remains in place, and that the kind of the expression of these price moves could obviously take us down the way. If we were to push down and go back to 47, that would be my target, and for many reasons. And over here, if we were to push up the way, we go back right into those, right towards $60. I do have reasons, I suppose, to look towards the downside, I think, which remain on the charts, but I just need to doubly clarify if that's the case. And I'm not seeing them jumping out at me. So I thought there was something obvious on this one. I mean, there's that down there, but that's not what I was talking about. No, cool, okay, so sure, but I thought there was some reason to go to 48 in my head. I had one in some other analysis I'd done somewhere else at some other time, but well, I don't know. Right, sure. Like, there we are. Am I bullish on this? I have been bullish on this, been telling people about it. So that's already done a lot of its moves, though. I mean, obviously we can stay with it and everything, but it's obviously done a lot of its moves. Here's one at $31 Chainlink. Has it done all of its moves yet? And this is what we were kind of getting at as well in yesterday's show when I was talking about things that haven't quite done them. And there's another one that I made a comparison with between this one and another. So I'll go take a look at that in a minute or two. By the way, where can you short crypto? That's a thing, says Katie Babes, the Poltergeist. Absolutely, it's a thing. It's actually offered on many of the major platforms, perhaps restricted to US users. If you're looking for that and you're in the US, you could perhaps try out using KuCoin. I have an affiliate link for it in the Discord, etc. You could. There's various other ones. There's plenty of them. And if you're actually looking to do just shorten on a few and do Forex, but do crypto based, then I would highly recommend Evolve.markets if you're looking for like crypto based Forex trading. Interesting stuff if you're of that disposition. But yeah, you can do it, right? What you're looking for is a derivative contract, right? Naturally, a futures is easier to be shorting things on. Futures and options and all that sort of stuff, they were designed for hedging, and you could say, some people say, economics people talk about it, and you can you can do that there. It's very easy, but you do need to think about your leverage, like I was saying, and it's the same sort of those sorts of movements, like a trading with 10x and the price of something moving 10% is you made 100% of your margin back. So substantial risk and reward, because surely with just a 10% movement then you completely wiped out your account, so up and downs. And if that was on this thing, then you're saying, well, a movement between 31 up to say 34 would be you having made 100% of the money that you'd invested back again with just a 10% move at 10x leverage. Whilst movements down towards our previous lows down here at 28 would wipe out your account entirely. So it's very dangerous. So if you did want to short and you're using a margin contract and you just wanted to say protect your, say you were long on something but you wanted to hedge against a particular retrace that was happening, you could use 1x, just one. You're not really at any risk. So check your liquidation prices if you are trading with things like that, just to be sure. Don't do any fat fingered things. Fat fingered things are much more costly, and obviously movements in the markets, if you accidentally buy 1,000 shares of something on leverage, then you might end up instantly selling it and thinking, oh damn, I've just lost, just stupid move there, I just lost $100 for because I fat fingered the keyboard. It's sort of things that can happen when maybe if I don't know what side of the analogy I was on there so far. I just meant like, whereas if you were trading without that leverage, then while you might still lose $100, you'd have to be trading with a huge scale to be losing that, to which case, then $100 is not worth. Doesn't mean the same in terms of your relative account size. So always look out for what you're doing on leverage, because of course it punishes the people who are tired or angry or upset or trading on tilt or just had a bad trade and want to trade again or over trading. All these things you get punished extra. All right. Great, groovy, cool. Link. So, Link, can it do it? 15-minute time frame. We've got a couple of lows in here. These lows, completely drying up the bearishness. It is a lower low in terms of that body close here, whilst we're getting the RSIs just pushing up the way. Looking to see if this can get a bit more positive, right? That's what I want to see. We've talked about this a few times. You've got like this interaction here that's between this the end of this flash and then the beginning of the other one, which means, like, you know, over here in the future we could see, of course, more interaction around that area you know, soon, and that so there's like, that's a little pivot point for us on the way, but I'm not really looking towards that one. Instead I'd be looking up towards the sort of the golden pocket area again, where we had our previous high, and saying that it's somewhere in this region at the 32, 33 would be hopefully where we start to see things then to continue to start to trend up the way. So at that point, we're looking for a higher high, and how would we get one of them, and what would be our higher highs and higher lows? Well, we've got a high that's in here, a low, a high, and potentially a higher low potentially. So how are they looking in terms of divergences, etc.? High and a high in here. Well, the initial thrust up the way for this movement wasn't divergent, so I'm going to say that that's okay. And then we and then the lows, yeah. So if this did turn out to be a low, then you'd have hidden bullish divergence with these two lows here. So that would be quite a nice little setup for us. It would be quite nice. You can manage your risk fairly easily on it. It's not part of a trending move. It's right within the range. But could this be the bit where it starts to kick up the way and say that we're continuing the bigger trend? And to measure that out, I could take in this Fibonacci from that high to that low, and say that by taking out these regions, we're taking out that 618, moving up to this next region, we're taking out that 786, and it's just like, you know, it's pushing up, substantial pushes up on the macro time frame. So these smaller time frame targets that we're looking at are the ones which lead to the bigger time frame move, where you could potentially resume the macro upward trend. That would be the bigger hope. But how would we get there? And one of the other ones that we can look at for kind of, you know, examples on this can be Kusama. Well, Kusama is like Polkadot's sister coin in a sense, and we're hoping to see it do some good moves. And we were talking about this one yesterday as well, or so, was it not? We were talking about this one yesterday. Was it yesterday? I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, we can see that it's done pretty good moves since as well. From moved down to 420, moved up to 465. So big, you know, 10%, like I'm saying, 10%, you know. So you got in, say you were thinking about this and you're trading it using leverage, and you got in here at mid-range point here, mid-range, and then the prices jumped down the way and then went up the way, you know, and say you were trading with 20x, like, which is quite a lot of the platforms will start off with like 20x as the standard, like, you know, like, oh, you're going to use leverage, great, here's 20x. Well, you got wiped out here and you got wiped out here if you were long or short. And what's happened is the prices have returned back to where they were. So when you put it into the context of leverage, it's easy to understand how these markets can move like that. Just take away the leverage part of it and think about people who are risk averse. And it's the same aspect, you know, and leverage really all it does is inflate the size of your trading, you know. So, so one of the things I would talk about is sometimes how you can use leverage to trade what you would have traded with anyway. You're just using leverage, you know, it's okay. There's like different ways of doing it. If you completely covered the amount in your account, you've got substantial margin there, then you're thinking about things appropriately. But this here is an example of how anybody who came in and thought, right, great, let's just see if we can push this up the way, or right, great, let's see if we can tank this down the way, at different times, has managed to get themselves liquidated had they not taken profit, or had they gone the wrong way or whatever. Or indeed as well, you know, had you got in at this low on a long using the 10x leverage, then by the time they got up to here, you'd made 100% profit. So anyway, that's just that little chat, and you've seen me chatting about these sorts of things before as well, plenty of times now, where you've got a high which is higher and a low which is lower, at a period where you're potentially consolidating, means that in this half here, this side of things, what you're looking to try and see is if you get a triangle to form out here of some sort, you know. So looking for an equilateral triangle, not just of some sort. You're looking for this on this side, and the reason why you're looking for that on that side, in a sense, is because on this side you've got this, all right? And obviously this is like one of those diamond things, and what then you have leading up to that is, of course, this incline. And if we take that incline and pop it over here just to see how far this thing could possibly go, where does it take us to? Well, it's another level that we've already identified, and it's $533. And $533 compared to something that's $440 is a lot of dollars, right? So there's your dollars. And still then, to compare that to where we came from before and the chat that we had before, where does it take us to? Well, it takes us up these targets towards our previous highs. Yeah, it's the same type of mentality as what I'm looking at Chainlink, obviously different numbers. And part of the reason why I'm looking at it that way is because of these sort of because of this kind of similar impact, similar priced coin to Chainlink, and the sister coin to Kusama. So is Polkadot, and it's at those all-time highs. Here's another one that's been at all-time highs recently for us, Cardano. I'll take a look at Bitcoin and the Bitcoin market dominance, and I'll take a look at some other stuff as well. Does anybody actually? Is anybody? Let me know if I'm spending too long on other stuff. You know, I'm losing $500 on a stupid Shiba. Let's take a look at stupid Shiba for you actually then. There you go, stupid Shiba, 50. It won't be much of a surprise whenever I go down at a 3-minute time frame, zoom out, and show you over here things like how we got Flash at 41, how I told everybody about these things along the way, and well, you know, obviously not anticipating getting it immediately as went along here with the chat with us. That is totally possible, and this consolidation here didn't lead to any sort of breakout. It just went sideways out of that zone, so can ditch that idea. But sheeps, yeah, man. The volume went away, right? It was done. It was you know, it can come back again, and when it comes back again, it'll be party time again, right? But we talked about this last week, man, so I'm really sorry for you, because there was a few things that I pointed out, and I wasn't pissing about. I was serious. Where's the bloody price action here? Yeah, I wasn't joking when I was saying like things like the volume wanting to stay in there. So it's one of the most traded coins in the market, more so than Bitcoin and Ethereum on all of the major crypto exchanges. So what's the volume look like there? Well, during this phase, it's kind of been dropping off a bit, but you know, it still is traded. It still is heavily traded. Still will be featuring up those top ends of those charts, I suppose, probably in terms of what's getting most traded. So there's that, I suppose. So that's true. Also with these highs and pushing back down the way with the DMI, look at that. So often when you get to the even if you're going to get continuation afterwards, go up to something like a decent sized time frame and look for the DMI highs, you know, and that. So like these are the sorts of things. Look at the pullbacks that we got post that high, roughly 40%, and what have we seen so far? Roughly 40%. So yeah, no, like these things. I mean, it's just it's no comfort to somebody afterwards to have somebody else come along and say, well, these are the things that you should have been looking at. Or small comfort, but at least, you know, understand, like, and $500 isn't the end of the world. You can learn lessons from all of this, and besides, it's not over yet. However, you could easily see this thing pushing down to 41. Could easily do so if it were to take out these targets. Let me just go with 24-hour time frame. If it were to push on down to the 50 simple period moving average, it would need to go down to 228. So that sucks on the daily time frame. 4-hour time frame, the 200 simple moving average is down there at 37. So they're all kind of all over the place, because as things have moved so much that you can actually see substantial differences amongst where they are. 41 is not a massive target for us if we did get follow through and continuation from this point on the way. And while it's negative, right? You're just going to have to accept that while it's negative, it's negative. So you need to see things turn around and start being positive. 15-minute time frame, we do have a target up above at 55.93, so that's pretty decent. I think this could very easily get hit and then prices continue to drop on down after that. Could easily happen like that. So when that's what I mean. Like, it is what it is until it is what it isn't. I've said it a billion times. And you know, the first 10,000 times somebody hears it is what it is until it is what it isn't, they maybe just think I'm just, you know, being facetious or overly succinct or whatever, or not explaining anything properly. But what else can you say? Because it truly is what it is until it is what it isn't. Let me just put on the Ichimoku cloud for an example here, and just remember, like, this what this is price action, which is operating below the cloud. This is price action, which is operating below the cloud. Here's your prices. Here's your cloud. Here's your moving averages, etc. What is that? That's what that is. And then how, when, and will that remain that way? Well, that's what it is, and it is that until it isn't that. And what would constitute it not being that? What would constitute it not being that? Well, not only would it need to come up and, you know, get past our target here in terms of 55. It would need to go on past it, because even at 55, it's still going to be below at least that moving average and below the cloud. You know, so if it bounced away from here and didn't make it up again, then it's below it. And then when it's above it, right? When it's above it, all it's doing is giving it a first chance above it. So what you've got is, it is trending below the cloud. It is trending below the cloud, and when it goes up above, it is testing above the cloud, but it's not trending above the cloud at that point. It's not quite. I mean, what is it doing? Well, it's trending below the cloud and it's testing above the cloud. That's as simple. I mean, that's what it is, and it is what it is until it is what it isn't. Yeah. So over here we can see we had a target up above, came up, hit it, pushed back down the way. Let's just have a quick sort of little kind of a measurement thing here as we kind of add to the knowledge base behind this indicator as it happens. There's the 113. We came up and we touched it, but we didn't push beyond it. We didn't push beyond it. We came up and we touched it exactly. So I think this is something to add to the rules, whoops, of this thing potentially over time. I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye out for this one, by the way, as it happens. But this here, it didn't push past it, and I mean, I think last time I was talking about it was like, even if it touches it, I don't think it's if it touches it, it's if it goes past it, even by a penny. And I hate, okay, so this is the type of margins that we're trying to operate on with this indicator. I know it's almost impossible to to have a target of perfect is insane. And I coined a phrase in this channel about, you know, that the perfect ambition is to aim for being very good, because perfect is impossible. But with this this indicator, we're scientific method on it, and we're trying to see if the hypothesis is correct, and we're basing it on literally just, you know, penny movements. So it's going up to 113. If I had gone a penny beyond that, maybe we would have been trending on the way, but we weren't. So you could use the same sort of philosophy other times. Now, here's an example where that was bollocks. Right, so we're trying to develop an indicator. I'll tell you right now here that, I mean, obviously that was bollocks. Look, here's the 113, 113. And we didn't trend afterwards. We did go on and push substantially higher. It's, you know, we got the 113, and then it went on an additional 3% and up to the 1618, but it didn't trend that way. So, you know, there you go. Like, I'm a nonsense. Right, so we're developing this thing together, but obviously I'd like to see that thing push up past that point. Right, we need to push up past that point at the very least, never mind just go there. So those sorts of things, right? So that's where we are with it, because it is what it is until it is what it isn't. It's a downtrend on that time frame, but on the larger time frames, clearly an uptrend. Very, 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 very bullish. Let's see where you know, it is what it is until it is what it isn't. Well, what it is at the minute is it's trending up above the Ichimoku cloud, but it's been parabolic, which means that the danger in terms of traditional sort of mechanisms that people would use to look to say it is what it is until it is what it isn't, over here means that you need to see the prices dropping down below that 2-3 target, that 23 area, wherever we talked about earlier on, to turn into bearish markets, which is ridiculous, because it have lost you know, almost all of its value in a sense by that point. Anyway, it have lost what, 77% of its value, and then you're like, things have suddenly now they changed. So this is the nature of parabolic markets. So you have to look lower in that sense. It is what it is until it is what it isn't. Here's the 4-hour time frame. It was trending up above the Ichimoku cloud. Now it's testing below the Ichimoku cloud, and it is trending above the local cloud. It is testing below the Ichimoku cloud. Failure to take this back out, that's not a test. That's the beginning of trending. To take out, put in a lower low, that's trending below the Ichimoku cloud. And at that point, you would say, well, it was trending up the way, and it was what it was, but now it is what it is, and that isn't what it was. It is what it is until such times as it isn't. So there we are. That's your TA on this thing. What more do you want? Specific targets, I've already given them. 55 would be your current upside target. 41 your current downside target. That is the turning of the hour. It is the turning of the hour of Chameleon. So good. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Shiba has taken quite a duty. It has indeed. Wow, on fire today, Rocky. Thank you. Seriously, that's amazing. Thanks so much, Ronaldo, man. You never know. Well, you never know. It's funny because it's more technical, I guess, than playing. I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's the same for you. Let me know sometime, man. What's it like when you're playing music? Because do you know when you really kill it? Sometimes you know, right? Sometimes I know as well. Sometimes you'll be feeling it, like going, yeah. But I know that sometimes I'm watching you and I'm like, Ronaldo's on fire tonight. He's on fire. And I don't know if you know it. I think sometimes you just don't know it. It's like, and you've hit like home run after home run with your song, and I think, jeepers creepers, does he know that he's on fire right now? Thanks so much for telling me, man. Really appreciate it. Cool. What else have we got in here? Never let the perfect enemy of a good arm. Don't know that. Sorry, missing out on that one. Rocky is my friend. Oh, nice one. Sweet, Corey. Sweet. Yeah, cheers. That's true. We're friends now. Torsten. Hey, yeah, Torsten. Or if you don't get that, ask plenty of questions in the chat here and on Discord. Remain above the douchebaggery, y'all. Perfect. Absolutely. Everybody does. It's amazing. Thank you, Rocky. Civi CK. I wish I had good news for you, man. I wish it was like, oh, but look, it's all brilliant because this thing's right on the edge of turning around. And yeah. Okay. But if we take out 55 and move up the way and take out the cloud and start trending up the way, then maybe there's a chance of that. And you know, over here you can see 58 is where the edge of the cloud is. So it's not just like take out 55 in that cloud in that 50-minute time frame. You're still struggling here at this point. Take a couple of days to do this, and you're struggling underneath the cloud up to 61, 63, 64. So this thing moves, though. When it moves, it moves. So it would probably push through one or the other. It wouldn't take days to do it, but you know, that's where we are. You know, that's where we are. Brilliant. Let's keep going then. Let's see how AHT is getting on now. Oh, I just did that thing again. You're welcome, by the way, Pally. Let's go take a look over here at again. See how we're getting on at the minute. 1503. All right. Okay. Yeah, big is this pullback that we're experiencing. Let me just get rid of the drawings. This pullback that we're experiencing right now on AHT, taking us back into that cloud again. That's annoying, isn't it? So in terms of Ichimoku cloud, obviously, you know, looking all around here, we do have to acknowledge that we could go down and visit in this area. We do have to acknowledge that if that were to happen, you know, let's just kind of sketch this out a wee bit. Imagine, in a sense, that we do that this line just kept going for just here, just now, and that's where it came in at. Imagine for a second that's where that came in at. Imagine that we pushed down here and didn't manage to push outside of the cloud again, and then it came down here, and then came down here, and then turn around. That would all be inside the cloud. That'd be cool. Wait, you can't see shit there. It's behind me. That'd be all cool though. I'm just imagining stuff. I'm just imagining stuff for fun. But you can see that there's this line here. That's the target for us. What really though is like, what does that tell us? If it's all inside, it's nice to draw on, and it's nice to know where that is. But throughout that time, you'd be looking at it and saying, well, if we're just in the cloud, then we're not trending. We're just in a range between the previous days. So where is the trend in cloud at? Where does it live at that time? Where could it be? Actually, just go back, so I've still got my arrow on here. Where could that be at? Right, so you know, if we were to come through the cloud over here, that would suck balls, wouldn't it? Thinking about that. So we're at the minute, we're up here and we've moved above the 1 hour time frame cloud. Coming back down and testing in at the 14s, etc., is bouncing off the cloud here. We've just had a golden cross as well. So if we were to come back down and test off a 1446 or 1444 and all that, you know, in here, that'd be fine, really, so long as we were able to get that turnaround thereafter. pushing on through the cloud, however, means that we're probably going down to that target down there at 1326. So you don't want to go on talk about that too much. Now, let's talk about Humanigen. That was one of the Humanigen. That was one of the ones we were looking at yesterday. It pushed up a little bit, but it didn't do. Did I type that wrong? What the hell? Humanigen. But it didn't just fly into that gap, right? It didn't just fly straight into that gap and clean it out completely immediately with no issue at all. That didn't happen. It didn't happen. But we're here on the cusp of it, and we've pushed into it just the tiniest little bit, right behind my head. We pushed into it just the tiniest little bit. But we didn't actually go flying as yet, and we backed off from it immediately. If we do defend, if this gap gets defended, then obviously you're looking for substantial pullbacks. There is the potential here to fly on the way. You can see how extended this is. This is no joke. This sort of extension that's on here. So for us to even get a correction and then push up the way, we'd probably be healthier. But here we are, and there's that potential for us. Let's stick the Ichimoku cloud back on, in fact, here, so we can just kind of, say where we are. So we're up above the cloud. We could easily see pullbacks that would take us down significant chunks, easily, with the girthy distance between us and the cloud itself, as a result of us moved up so strongly up here. It speaks for itself whenever profit comes in at previous substantial levels and things like this happen. So I would look out for that, because that would be a good buy entry, I suppose, or a good bounce area for us. But really, I want to see this do very well, and I want to see it crack and just crack up the way. It's one of these ones that's a bit of a toughie as well. The gap on here, so huge and done outside of normal market hours, finishing off the day one day over here, and then just bang, straight down, straight, like the next day opened up. Oh wait, actually that was the 8th of September, the same day. Did it do it at the very end of the day? I'm not yeah, it did at the end of the day. Oh, no, it wasn't. That was the start of the next day. Sorry, confused there. Exactly. It just gapped down here, and it's kind of one of these ones where it's like, well, do you want to make a trade to play a game where you're relying on the manipulation of institutions and hedge funds, etc., to come in and push the market, pre-markets and post-markets, when there's low liquidity, up the way for you, so you can ride their coattails? And that's cool to do that. If that's the plan, that's cool to do it. But this is just to think, like, if this was to happen during open hours, then how would that go for us? And the sort of percentage moves that you're talking about here are also very, very girthy, with a 78% need to go up the way. So to get these sorts of moves to happen in market when markets are open normally is very tough, and then therefore you can understand why these things often do happen outside of markets, especially when it's easier to manipulate with the lower liquidity, blah blah blah. Anyway, this movement up the way, either it does do that, great, fantastic, and this is just shitey charts because it just doesn't do chart any stuff, which is fine because we're able to assess that, or it does typical things, in which case, discounts down the way towards $7.37 wouldn't be a surprise. There is actually as well. Is there a flash down here as well for us? 7:30. There you go. So I'd look out for that. Ronaldo, love your Dave Matthews covers, says Amber. That's quality. Woo, yeah. HJ is dead, trying to get me into trouble here. Really? What's HJ's dead saying? Did somebody say girthy? Yeah, I did. It was me. I said it. I said girthy. I say girthy all the time. It's because it's it's just the facts of life, isn't it? Yep. The flow. Sweet. Thanks, Ronaldo. It's coming back and giving me tell me how it's going. There are times when I know things are fire, and then sometimes I'm so deep that I don't know, but I always have amazing peeps surrounding me to give me that feedback. Yeah, man. Thanks so much. Well, that's great. That's so nice to have that little insight. I really do appreciate it, man. Really do. You are great. Bitcoin down. USDT. Binance. Okay. There's some words. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin. Let's go. I did it again. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin. BTC USDT. Ooh, I can talk quickly.
Bitcoin down 61,590, up from 60k though. Hey, or 61,000. Wait, what time frame is this? What? So yeah, it's moved down a bit. Whoa. Yeah, this is 24-hour time frame here. It's gone sideways since the 20th of October. Ugh. 22nd of October, if you want to say that. So we're in November now. So up, down, left, right, jobs are good in. We're still kicking along. But does it look good? No, it doesn't. Does it look bad? No, it's just consolidating, isn't it? So where is this? Right, so we want to take a look. So let's just check in with the Bitcoin dominance chart real quick. 43.25, interesting stuff. While Bitcoin remains high, there's that alt season type chat that we were talking about. We did talk about this, by the way, over here when Bitcoin, the dominance chart was up at 47 over the 18th of October, and now we're down here in the 4th of November, having talked about how this could come along. So while things is what they is until they is what they isn't, this is an example of how when we were talking about it, they very much is at that time. Above the Ichimoku cloud and whatnot, and I was saying from that point that I anticipated a pullback, and that was to do with that was to do with a few different things at the time, right? Don't want to get into too much complicated stuff, but then when we did crack down below the cloud, you can see here that we came all the way down, really testing right into the cloud with these movements, and we didn't even try really to break back up above it. And in fact, we just put in lows and then lower highs and lower lows. And then it was like, well, up here we were trending, and then down here we were trending, and we were trending below the cloud. And that's just what that was. Anyway, Death Cross has come in here recently. If we were to go up and test the 50, it'd be a substantial test of the 50, but it would still just be a lower high. If we were to go up and test the 200, it could be debatably, the first sort of high, which is, could be turning things around, but we need to see a higher low at that point. So I wouldn't, so movements beyond 45 at the minute are too much to ask for in one blow for me personally, just as it happens. So so that's to do with the relative values of Bitcoin versus all the rest of the stuff in the market. It's a macro thing. This here is Bitcoin 62k. Yeah, doing fine in terms of CMEs. We're contangled over here in CME, which means it's trading at a slightly higher price than the spot prices are. So this is spot, and this is a nice introduction for people who trade who are new to stock markets and want to know about a couple of different terminologies that you've got. So the CMEs is the coronal mass ejections. It's a society of astrologists, and what they do is they put out charts based on the future. So they look at the stars, and then they've got these future charts. So these are called futures, right? And you can use futures to hedge. Hedging is whenever you put a shrub between you and your neighbor's property. So if you want to put a shrub between you and your neighbor's property, you can use the Bitcoin that you can buy from the astrologists over here in the coronal mass ejections, right? So that's a nice little introduction for everybody. And you can see that this is the spot price here is 62,300, and that the CME price here, which is the coronal mass ejection price, they're based out of Chicago, is 62,000. That means they're contangled. That's the word CONTANGO. Contango. It's a real word, and it means that it's ahead. I don't know where exactly it comes from. In my head, I've always translated it as with tango. When you've been tangled. Aikara. So then I also think about the opposite side of things too at times. Is it backwardized? So you can have this backwardation. So if futures markets, like we have here on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CME, where they trade substantial professional traders and institutional level traders are trading here with their minimum account sizes, etc., and that or wealthy individuals, etc., and they trade it with.
Looks good. DI Plus is going up. ADX is going up with it. Looks like we're having a little bit of a run.
Lower than the spot price. That's called backwardation, and it speaks for itself. When the general markets expect the future thing of something to be worth more than the current price of it, that speaks for itself. It's indicative, so it's worth pointing out when that's the case, and that's the case right now between these two. So also then this chart, if you're looking to get it up yourself, is BTC
came up and hit it.
1 exclamation mark. That's BTC 1 exclamation mark, and you'll recognize this from futures things, or for instance oil contracts you might have seen with this 1 exclamation mark, etc., stuff like that. on there. Okay, you might have seen that. So that's when you recognize that you're dealing with a futures contract from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's probably going to have a 1 exclamation mark or 2 or 3. So anyway, so yeah, here we are. And is there any significant gaps on here for us to look for? Let's just look up and see here. This is a small enough time frame, 4-hour time frame. So I'm looking for them. There could of course be gaps on smaller time frames, but just looking along here now, gaps on Bitcoin. What are you talking about? Gaps on Bitcoin? Well, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the coronal mass ejections, actually close. You know, during the day, during the evening, they close during the night for an hour every day, and then they're closed for an extra day as well at the weekend. So you get gaps can appear because, of course, it's a never-ending thing with the spot prices on Bitcoin. That's kind of like your post-market, pre-market in a sense. It's not really; it's just the market. And then, but from this point of view, and then of course the markets will open back up. The prices will reflect what the underlying is in the rest of the world, which is of course been trading in the meantime. And then they might move there immediately without having had any trading in between, creating gaps. So to see these gaps a little bit easier, because we have got one on the screen just down there, let's just hide the Ichimoku cloud there. We can actually let's just hide the moving averages as well, sure. So we've got a gap over here on CMEs. Where's that coming in at? A whoomp, big old gap in there at 35k. Now 35k, if we were to jump all the way down there, would we be backwardized at the point that we got there? Would we be contangled by the point we got there? So that's an interesting one for us, and it's as a general sort of thing to look to, that might be one of the targets to have. So when would we start looking towards that? When would we start looking towards that with any sort of real degree of
Come on, push past that. Push past it.
Gusto?
Just a line.
One way
all I gotta do is just jump across it.
From this previous
Don't touch it, just
here.
jump it, go across
it. CME charts, by the way. So I'm doing all of this here to look at the CME charts. When I say if the prices were to drop below 59,855, I'm talking about the CME charts. Let's just look here for reference. At the 27th October 21 at 10 a.m., the prices were around about 58,900. Obviously, they'd gone as low as 57,000, and it's that's the bad one. The next hour we're at 58 is the middle of that one. Go over to the regular Bitcoin chart and see here that in there it was no longer backwardized at that point. In fact, they were operating in lockstep more or less at that point. I think very similar pricing here, it seems. So that's another interesting point, right? So we can see that the last time we were just over here at this low, that we were at the same pricing, so we weren't backwardized or anything. There's a gap potential for us down lower, wherever it is. There's also, I think, maybe a flash in here at 44k as well to be taken into consideration. Although I can't remember what time frame I drew that would have been on. So all of that. Oh, look, there's another instance of the flash working like kind of beautifully with regards to where the prices came back to before bouncing off again. Interesting, right? So yeah, so what am I doing there? It's a substantial thesis that I'm building up here, I suppose, right? A substantial one, but and there's lots of different moving parts, but the guts of the thing boils back down to just kind of saying, well, let's measure, let's know that we have potential targets that are lower, and let's measure around and see then. Just using simple tools. I mean, I do love using the Fibonacci, so using simple tools to do it. 59,000 here as well, dropping below 59,000 is that 236 point back over there on the CME charts, just to look at again and see here 59,780 over there on the spot charts, 59,000 flat. So that's $700 difference, something to look to perhaps if we were to be crashing down there. Have the markets contracted and that contango nature of the CMEs disappeared as we're crossing over these pivot points? Because if that's the case, then you do one sooner than the other. So these little dynamics that you can look to if you're interested. And then of course we know there's that 618 golden pockets in there. Where would it be coming down to if it hit off of that 33-ish K target? That would be a 1272. A 1272. Somebody spoke yesterday or the other day about with regards to Fibonacci and how you can do negative numbers on your Fibonacci. And I'm not going to say that you can't. I just might as well just take a second here to point these things out. Right, here's a Fibonacci for you. And there's your positive extensions, but there's no negative ones down here. Here is add on a negative one here. I'll just put this as minus 0.236. I'll put this as minus, whoops, that didn't work. I don't recommend doing this. 0.236. Then I put this as minus 0. Minus 0.382. So I've got those two numbers on there. There's your minuses, and here's a 0 and a 1. So so that's how that was drawn in. The other way around though. So let me just pop this other one on top of it. Here the other way around, and you can see the 1272 is a little bit different position to the 236. Well, they're different numbers. I mean, it would be maybe 1236 might get them to line up on top of each other. Well, let's just experiment for a second and go 1236, 1236. Pop that on there, and oh my goodness, now they'll overlap on top of each other. Then what about this 382? What number would maybe be that then for it? 1382, 1382. Let's just stick that in there, and oh my goodness, they overlap. Well, we know that 1382 and 1236 aren't actually Fibonacci numbers. We know that there are these other ones, and it so often goes to them, and that ultimately, generally speaking, that this minus Fibonacci thing is a little bit of a gimmick. I mean, that's the truth, right? That's the truth. That's the truth. It's worth pointing that out for people to know that that's what that is. Now, because I've just edited one of my Fibonacci's, if I were to draw on a new one, it would use those edited numbers. What I can actually do here is just change this Fibonacci around a little bit, open it back up, close it down, whatever. And now when I go to draw on a new Fibonacci, it uses the settings of the last Fibonacci that I edited, as opposed to the last Fibonacci that I fully drew on. So I've now got my settings back without having to do anything. That's nice. And also it means that you could also have different defaulted settings. If you were looking to do a little bit of work where you wanted 3 different types of Fibonacci's, and you know you've only got the one sort of out of the box, and then your defaults and stuff, you can make templates. And then as well as if you were just like looking to grab it without having to change your template, you could just like, you know, open up the settings, close them. You'd be using that one. Open up your settings, close them. Handy little things like that. No, just little tips. Right. 4:20. Well, that means we've got 10 minutes left of this show before I tune out, I would say. So let's go back around to Stockland again. Oh, you take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Stockland before ye. Great. Excellent stuff. Super happy. 220. Excellent. It's where we want to see things. Great. Brilliant. Can we sustain them up above there? I'm happy when prices are above 210. Ecstatic in terms of the week. 220. Brilliant. Want to see more of that. What else is there on that front? 1 hour time frame. Nice little recovery here. You can see this upward sloping line, I suppose, if you're looking for something to kind of you know, assess how we're getting on here as we move upwards. That would be one of them. So that's pretty good. That's nice. Doing well here. So yeah, continuing on the way. Let's just hope that the beat goes on. Right? Great, fantastic. Nice pullbacks today. Nice trading opportunities for people. You know, this is the lessons, I suppose. It's like a lot of people, you know, that we're using this chart as a lessons type of chart. You know, consistently looking at the similar charts all the time and learning how you would trade if you were to be trading this thing. We spoke about yesterday how 210 would have obviously been a buy area. 171 and 210 were the two that we were looking to. So nicely got for us the best buy prices. Now you're here, but obviously we haven't taken out that previous hourly where we started off the day. We're still down on the day. And between this high and this low, that's not quite perfectly popped on, but that's okay. You can see that the pivot point in terms of things is 218. So while we're at 221, 222, very, very good. Dropping down below 218, not so great, you know, not so great. So and we do spend a significant amount of time around these areas. So that's just where we are with this one. There's not going to break it down any more than that. AMC doing well here again, the same sort of thing. It's just doing well. $40 equals doing well. Okay. AHT, is it recovered much today so far? No, it's still pushing down the way like we were. Or is it? No, wait. What? This is more or less the same price as it was when I was actually looking at it a minute ago. So we're doing all right there in that front. I've covered a whole bunch of cryptocurrencies today as well. What other ones are there out there? I mean, Doge is going to get some attention again soon, right? Doge has been doing shite. Why? Well, because it's mostly is shite. Sorry to break it to you. And yeah, but can it actually resume the upward portion of these trends that we've had? Massive pullbacks here. We've obviously pushed down below this green line. This is one of the kind of this is a little sort of, I just drew one of these on GME a minute ago. So you just had the lesson, like I was saying, on the lessons chart over here onto a chart that, you know, you could be looking at. We push down below it. You could be very much more positive while you're above it, looking for moves which are substantial towards the top side. And so like anything up here without taking out our previous highs would be like 10, 20, 30, 20%, you know. But we're below that currently, that line. So there's that aspect of things. Obviously, we wick down quite a few times when we do this. So that's cool structure-wise. Hoping to see some hidden bullish divergence in there. So this low versus our previous low, which, you know, there, yeah, okay, maybe got some hidden bullish divergence. So all of that, but where is the... So what is this? What's this? What do I mean when I was saying it's doing crap? Before in the short-term time frames, it's been pulled back. It's pulled back all the way from 34 down as low as 25. Significant, you know. That's been crap. But maybe we do see a turnaround here, right? Maybe we do, and we can push on and go towards the golden pocket. That would be my next kind of target. But this is one of these. This is like, you know, this pumping is kind of the raison d'etre for Shibu in a sense. That it's all like, oh, we missed Doge, let's do Shibu. They're both the same dog, so that will help. And the money flows around a wee bit in this way, right? Money flows around a wee bit because what happens is you've got like YouTubers out there like Ivan on Tech, who in the crypto field runs a pump and dump boiler room, for example. So you can buy access to this thing for $6,000 a month. And then you just do pump and dump schemes, okay? So like that's, for example, you know, that's, I mean, it's illegal, right? But not necessarily in unregulated markets with people around the internet. So there's these sorts of things that happen. Obviously, it's a bad investment, you know, in my opinion, and that sort of thing, because, you know, it's like, anyway, but they exist, right? They exist, and that. So SHIB is, and I'm not saying it's a pump and dump group that's done this on its own. I think this is like, you know, this is the same sort of thing as like the Wall Street Bets ideas and different other sort of pump and dumpy groups. You're going to find that the big holders in it dump onto everybody else as part of that pumpy dumpy group too. But overall, they've all kind of done well. But during this period of decline, which has been a decline for Doge and a decline for SHIB, we've seen things move into other cheap coins, which sort of, because there's this idea of cheap at the minute with regards to these things. So you've got Digibyte recently having moved from lows down here up to highs up here, which is 73% increase in price. It's had a bit of a correction since, but it's kind of one of these little things. There's other kind of real cheap, so to speak, coins that are kind of you know, potentially picking up some of this price action. Then there's other ones that are in that 20-30 cents region. I mean, this is less than you know, this is the cheaper ones, 5 cents and stuff like that here. But if we jump up again 5 times more expensive, you've got the likes of Harmony One, but there's also other ones. Raven out there doing really well recently. Raven USDT, nice, you know, and this is one of the good ones that we talked about in terms of trading recently with targets that we had. We had a target in here at 10. Perfect. It's up 40% since we hit our targets. So we had a couple, and there's like trading between 10 and 12 was the thing to do for a couple of blasts at it. So we made it up past 9 into 10, take it up to 12, cashing out. taking it back down to 10, cashing out, taking it back up to 12, cashing out, taking it back down to 10, cashing out. So that's happened all these times here. Now we've pushed on past that region up towards 13. It was actually 14 earlier on, was it not? 14.90, nearly 15. So we're at 13.9, so we're nearly 14 at the minute. So you know, that's 50% increase in price, right? 40 to 50, whatever. So it's big stuff. So somebody was asking for that here in the show. And we did this together, so nice one. What are we thinking in terms of pullbacks? Well, clearly, you know, the sort of 13 and a half, a pivot point for us. If we were to be dropping down from that, you could be going down to sort of 11 and a half, just like kind of those sorts of things. These sort of buying the dips along the way has been okay in the last 40% move on Raven. This is his all-time high over on the left here. This is the substantial corrective low. Looking back to the left, just to reassure myself that I was right about that. That's not his all-time high. Sorry, that's just the August high. I'll bring it back to the all-time high in a second. We're at the golden pocket here at the minute. Did push on a bit higher. Taking out that 13 and a half area is losing the golden pocket, and then, you know, that's the same sort of thing. So there's a bit of context for us. Pop this up to the all-time high here in the summertime. I'll just double check again before, you know, I leave that point that it was indeed the all-time high. 236 was in here at 11, so nice move beyond that. The 382 in here at 13.8. So good, right? Good. This could be the start of something. Break that 13 and a half. I'm looking for 11 and a half because that's where the 236 is here as well. So we're seeing that. Whoops, that's the wrong place to have drawn that into. That's wrong place. That's wrong. That TA was wrong there. But nevertheless, interesting, but wrong. But it's when you've measured something wrongly, right? If I go into my kitchen and I were to measure the distance between the oven and the dishwasher, it would come back as 120 centimeters. And if I were to measure the distance between the side of the dishwasher and the wall, it would come back as is that right? Am I right in saying that? Yeah, it would come back whatever, right? These things have got sizes and that. So if a market was moving around completely randomly in a sense and not go into any of these sizes, then you wouldn't expect to see any sort of neat overlaps. But if things are chunking around and everything's kind of having modular moves, then you would see a degree of overlap there. So let's just look again here and see anyway. The 236s in there are 64. This little the targets I talked about with 13 and a half and 11 and a half are real targets in this region. But in terms of the all-time highs to the corrective low that we had, the high in February 21 to the low in June 21, then you can see that this is a different set of Fibonacci's. Looking here to 64, if it was to drop down loads, I'm not rushing for any of that. Definitely not. I want to see this be positive. I want to see this be positive and take out this knot of price action just in here where they had these previous highs drop down the way. If we come up and when we like to bull flag out here somewhere around this region, I'd be happy to have that for a couple of days and then push on the way. But if this actually is got hidden bearish divergence on it, I'll be a bit displeased, and I'll point that out right now if that's the case. And it would. No, it wouldn't have it. So yeah, so this last push that we had was so high on the RSI up to 90 that it would be that you're very unlikely to get hidden bearish divergence, in fact, with any moves up here which fail at those areas. But if we did get it, then it would be significant, but it was very unlikely. Anyway, I don't know. That's enough on that one. That's enough. I mean, I've looked at so many cryptocurrencies today, and I could keep looking. There's a whole host more that I wanted to look at. I can't even remember what I've looked at so far. But there's loads. There's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads, and super interesting stuff. And you can often find that a few of them chunking movements in the markets together. I'll go back over and take a look at Tezos for a quick second here, just to see how we're getting on at the minute. 620. Let me hide the drawings so I can see the chart itself. Yeah, very tight in there. Tight in here. Tight in here. Where's my ADX kicking
Where's
around
my
in all these
mind?
different time frames? We've managed to consolidate without losing, without dipping too much below that chop territory so much. Yeah, okay, cool. Everything's just pure sideways there. A nice little potential move up the way to 670. I mean, that would be the next target anyway. Pure sideways, interesting stuff, kind of distilled sideways movement in this last little chunk, and we're seeing the whole thing has a flash over the background of it because, you know, as you can see here, big flash. We just went through all the different small time frames to see how this was going. It's interesting pure sideways movements. And where is this happening at? Relative to that low, to that high, it's impossible to see at this point. Screw it. From that low to that high, there's everything's in the bin. I'm going to undo that in a second. Yeah, 236 right above us at 640. 620 is where we are just now. Moving above that and validating it, moving below it, we are below it. We've been coming down here, consolidating down to this region, drop down below it. Can this be a little fuel stop for us to get, rocket fuel for our moon journey? That'd be nice. Do we have hidden bullish divergence like we were asking before on the other chart? Yes, we do. So we've got hidden bullish divergence on here. That's nice to see as we have this low hidden bullish divergence. Yeah. And I just had to check myself. And we've taken out that previous high with this one. Okay, cool. Right, yeah. So simply put, there's a massive range on this thing that could really, I wouldn't trade this with high leverage at the minute either. I am positive on this. I'm still positive. We've got a target, a bigger term target for, where did we aim up for? I think it was $11, I think. Yeah, up here towards, was it $11 that I'm aiming towards? So could that be the next target, and have we seen enough with this movement to bring us up there? And this will just finish us off for the day, I suppose. When we've done this, I'll go back and check the stocks we like. That'll take us up to 1239, the 1272, and at 1048. I mean, it's not. I just wanted to see. I think that this is one of those pivot areas. We've seen this a bunch of times, so you can see it again. Here, good. Here, bad. Here, bad. Here, bad. Here, good. Here, pivot. Here, pivot. Here, not known yet. GME. 219. Okay, cool. So we know 218 kind of important number. 222 going to be profit taken at that point. It's going to be profit taken at 250 again if we go there, by the way. 210, decent buy area. Crack down below that. Hesitate around the 200s. Max pain at 197 this week. Could see us down towards, could see us going down towards those numbers. That's totally potential for us. But very, very, very good. And yet again, proving the market's wrong. All those sorts of Ortex idiots, etc., that were saying that they've got this target towards the downside. Well, sure. I mean, if you traded off the back of that at 170 to go towards the downside, as everybody on these fundamentals and the analysts and stuff like that exist out there that aren't interested in this or saying it's negative, they're looking at it for a whole number of reasons to say that it's negative, and they're biased, and then they're human, and then they become fish, and then they bite the end of our fishing rope, and we reel them in and we gut them. And that's how that works. So we do that on a daily basis. It's how we destroy the fish. And so, you wouldn't have wanted to trade that. Imagine you had. Big mistake. So now that we're up above $200, we can say that we have changed conditions again. And the one way and the easiest way of doing that is to point out the fact that this would be a higher high on the weekly time frame. And overall, just the sheer positivity that we found and so far, and that if we were to come back down and retest this low, we get them all the way down to the 170s, the 171s, without taking out the lows of the previous area. So gives us a nice little box around the prices in terms of this region here, in it or above it is effing yes. Really, that's where we are. And it does. And then when I pop the moving averages back on, you'll see with beautiful correspondence with what I was just talking about there, and the 200 simple period moving average, when it reveals itself, which it may never do, in the 24-hour time frame, then you'll see then that this is a way that a lot of people will be looking at the markets right now as well. So obviously things do get nervous if we find ourselves next month down below these price targets, we'd be having kind of different style conversations about it. As it stands right now, we're the ones that are like, told you so, to all the people who are like, oh no, 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 over there. Annies. Right, and then AMC, same story, brilliant, excellent, nice ones. And that brings us to the end of this show. Great. I'll just check back there and see that I've not done something stupid and missed loads of chitter chatter, because that does happen from time to time. People be atting me and saying, you smell like cheese. And I'm like, what? All right. Oh, Apple Blossom just saw it. So glad he likes it. Oh, thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Bad Mama Gemma. Thank you all. I don't know how I'm going to put it up, right? I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know where I'm going to do it. I got it delivered. So the chances of it being in the background on tomorrow's show are somewhat slim, because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And I don't want to hang it up and then it fall over and smash or something like that. I mean, that could happen. So, but it's great. I'm so pleased. I'm so freaking pleased. Thank you, thank you, Queen Bee. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Cockroach. Thank you, D. Thank you, Sash. Thank you, thanks, Justin. Thanks, people. Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. So reverse roll call time. Woo! What was that? Observe thyself. It's a 2-part thank you. So I hope you caught 2 where he thanks everyone. Oh, it's a 3-part thank you now. Hey. Chewy just got a higher high, did it? Ah, Chewy. It's been a wee while since I've looked at Chewy. I can't remember what the chat is with it. Chewy. I say quite a while. Here, obviously, I drew in some sort of, on some time frame somewhere, I've drawn in some Fibonacci from around about here to there. I don't know why I drew it in right like that. Must have been different time frame. And or something. I don't really know. We went up to hit the 1618. So we hit the 1618. That seems to happen from time to time. Then we drop back down the way. I don't know what these drawings would have meant. We'd have to look back in my old videos to find out. But let's just real quick pop that down there. Real quick pop this up here. And see where we could go to next as our retraces, and acknowledge a couple of simple things right here. Right, this box shows us where there's a gap on the charts. In the middle of that box, you will notice that there is the 618 golden pocket. You'll also notice, to follow through that lesson I did earlier on, I adjusted that Fibonacci, drawn in a new one, but it's the old style. Come up here, open up this thing, change the settings of it, go back, draw on a Fibonacci, and it's that style. Oh my gosh. Right, cool. And then you got this, you've got this high to this low, and the 236 is lining up with the 50%, or the 382, sorry. 50% is lining up with the golden pocket. So yeah, substantial. This is my target on this one, would absolutely be there right now. Got other things that would probably point out as well for us, like your man here, which stands on the diving board. The year 2021 is the year of this analogy. As ever, give him a smile here, and clearly you can see that we're back into breathing territory again in here. So this is nice that we can actually breathe again in here. Woo! So all those things, those would be the things I would look to. Not looked at oscillators or anything else, but there you have it. What are the things that I look to? I would look to the substantial and distinct and obvious stark downtrend that this is in on the broader term time frames. So like, let's not be too distracted. Let's talk about movements within the ranges. If we do actually push higher and we're looking for that upper target, then going in for that 61618. I actually quite like the layout of this Fibonacci. I'll keep this for a wee while. Oh, you can't see shit at home though, can you? So we could be aiming up towards this 1618. If we were to come in for the golden pockets and everything else, what does that line up with? Oh my goodness, the top end of that downward channel. Oh my god, Rocky. Oh my god, Rocky. What is this? What is this? Everybody that you're watching along today, and everybody, if you're new, if you happen to be new here, what you're watching along is that you're watching along a guy who can take a chart, like this, and take a chart that's difficult to see what's going on, and then he'll put a few extra things on top of it, and boom, there's amazing amounts of confluence. You can see how everything's happening. You understand that, like, why this particular point here in the charts would be substantial, of real note and interest, when, you know, even without this gap, if this gap wasn't here, I could point to this region and say there's reasons for this, and it wouldn't just be one, it would be several, and it wouldn't just one with no context. It's several with the context of where we've been to, and it changes the charts. I mean, obviously your charts are going to have red and green on them and stuff like that, but I didn't demonstrate to you, you know, in terms of the lessons here, the reasons why I've got my charts. I would prefer probably in a way to have the colors on, you know, and just like, you know, and I think I would probably get more people subscribing to the channel because it would be more obvious and visually obvious what it is. But I've been doing this for quite a while because I want people to be able to understand the significance of pivot points in markets. And as you can see, without the colors on here, it draws your attention far more suddenly, in my opinion, to the shape of the overall movements. I think that without the colors, you're able to see here the movements a lot easier in terms of where the market's been. So then when I go and finish off that point by saying that we are in a downtrend on Chewy and have been this entire year, and that if you were looking for the upside, you would be looking to take profit at $82, because looking beyond that is a bad idea at the mean in for here and now. But if you were to look beyond it, you'd look up towards the 1618, and let's just finish off this thing by pointing out where this is and where this is, and they're on the same level, and that would be an equal high. And there, of course, you would anticipate people taking profits at the all-time high again, because that's how this stuff goes. Right, brilliant. There's some Chewy technical analysis as a nice little shout out for them. Right, actually, as well, before I go, let me just plug that thing in again and show you what it's like. Sashi, you might not have seen it on. It's not unwrapped yet. It's partly unwrapped. That's freaking amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing, and I know it's just amazing. And it looks really red, by the way. You know, it's real red. Like, you can see it reflecting off of me, and it's really red. It's just my camera doesn't make red when it's coming out of a red light look red for whatever reason. So I think it looks fucking epic. It goes really bright as well. It goes really bright.
All right. Well, I'm out of here. Go get my
really
kids.
appreciate this.